The Ohio Cup may have officially become a rivalry after the last time the Tribe and Reds squared off in Cincinnati. It was a verbal sparring match between Derek Lowe and Dusty Baker after the Indians pitcher was brushed back by Matt Latos. Lowe has a chance to get the last word, though, as he squares off with Latos for the second time in 5 days. Next on Sports Time Ohio. For the second time in a week, the Cleveland Indians square off against their in-state rivals from Cincinnati tonight here at Progressive Field. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Well, last week in Cincinnati, the Reds spanked the Indians, winning all 3 ball games, and they did it thanks to their dynamic duo of Joey Votto and Brandon Phillips. They have each hit now in their last 6 and 7 games, respectively.
Well, and that's the reason why Cincinnati's 6-0. These two guys have really done a terrific job. Votto killed the Indians in Cincinnati. He's leading the National League in hitting. And then Brandon Phillips, for whatever reason, any time he sees an Indians uniform, he goes off. If he didn't hit one out of the park, he was hitting it up the middle or the other way and driving in runs. And the right side of the infield did damage to the Indians. They drove in 13 of the 20 runs. They both hit a couple of home runs, and they had a terrific series. You're going to have to contain those two and keep them in the ballpark if you want to beat them.
Well, and the guy who will be charged with trying to contain them tonight is Derek Lowe, who pitched well against the Reds the last time he faced them down in Cincinnati, as we take a look now at our Nissan Road-Ahead pitching matchup.
Well, he gave them an opportunity to win, and that's all you can ask your starter to do. They didn't really get a lot of offense when he pitched. He was matched up against Matt Latos as well, but Derek has pitched very well at home, 4-1 this year, matched up against Matt Latos, who has won his last 5 decisions, and you can see he went 7 innings, 7 hits, and just the 2 earned runs allowed in his last start.
The Reds haven't lost since they saw the Indians last week in Cincinnati, reeling off 6 consecutive victories, while the Indians have lost 5 of their last 6. We'll be back with play-by-play action, Indians and the Reds tonight here in Cleveland. Game tonight here at Progressive Field between the Indians and the Cincinnati Reds, opening a 3-game series. And rain late this afternoon has forced us to start the game just a little bit late tonight. We'll be starting tonight's game at about 7:15, so about 10 minutes later than usual tonight. So tonight's rain delay is brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District. Cincinnati, of course, sweeping all 3 games from the Indians last week in Cincinnati. And the Indians will try to get even now on their home turf, where they took care of the Reds a season ago. And they won a lot of close games in that series, a couple of 1-run victories over Cincinnati. But last week in Cincinnati, as the Reds finished off the 3-game sweep, most of the talk as the series wrapped up surrounded the brushback between Derek Lowe and Reds manager Dusty Baker. Back in 2009, Lowe drilled Joey Votto in the back, and then a brushback pitch. Lowe pointed into the dugout at Dusty Baker. Then he responded by hitting Phillips. Both benches were warned after that. And then after the game is when the dust-up really began.
Well, yeah, and these same two pitchers are going to match up. Matt Latos against Derek Lowe. And, I mean, that's something that stemmed back a few years, 3-4 years ago, where we had no idea what was going on. And then he and Dusty Baker had a few words after that.
And neither man would come out and specifically say what the genesis of the problem was. They alluded to it, but again, it became a verbal jab after the ball game in Cincinnati.
This goes back to my last year with the Dodgers. We made up some story. A lot of people got involved. People almost got fired over it. And, again, you go ask him right now, he'll say he has no idea what he's talking about. I mean, I have zero respect for that guy, and not that it matters, because I'd imagine he'll say the same about me.
He don't respect himself. Because the word was, or whatever he did and said, that there's probably a good chance that he was drinking at the ballpark at that time 3 or 4 years ago, so he don't remember what he said or what he did. Okay? And when he said I shook his finger at him to tell him that I didn't have nothing to do with it, I was shaking. Matumbo didn't shake his finger to say I didn't have nothing to do with it. That means don't mess with me or my team. That's what that means. So he better learn sign language.
Just a bizarre turn of events after the ball game last week.
Well, it was, because we came back for the day game in that series, and everybody's coming up, hey, did you hear what happened? What went on with Derek Lowe, Dusty Baker? And we're pretty much clueless because we didn't pay attention to it right until after the game, and it blew out of proportion the next morning. And, you know, we're back again today. And personally, I don't think you're going to see any repercussions. First of all, Lowe's not hitting, and he can't direct his pitchers to throw any at Lowe because he won't get an at-bat. And they're going to try and win a ball game is what they're going to try and do. Cincinnati, now they're hot. They've won 6 in a row. They don't want to wake anybody up, I wouldn't think.
Plus, based on what happened a week ago, I'm sure the umpires will be on high alert for any kind of shenanigans here today as the Indians and Reds square off. Not too far away from first pitch time tonight here at the ballpark as the Indians will try to get back on track against Cincinnati. We pause now for our national anthem. Well, now that the rain has moved through the area, it looks like we'll have a pretty nice night for baseball. Tribe comes in 33-32 on the year, a game and a half in back of front-running Chicago in the American League Central Division. Detroit has closed to within 3 games of the top spot in the AL Central. Then the Royals 5 off the pace, followed by Minnesota 8.5 back. Cincinnati leads the NL Central by 4 games over Pittsburgh. Reds have won 6 in a row. Ashtabula native Urban Meyer, the new head football coach at Ohio State, throwing out the ceremonial first pitch before today's ball game. Former defensive back at the University of Cincinnati, so he has ties to both cities. He was in Cincinnati for the first round of this Ohio Cup battle. Throwing a strike to Sandy Alomar.
Well, they've got his son decked out in an Indians uniform, man. He's got the high socks and everything.
Full uni.
Yes, indeed.
Manny Acta, Dusty Baker exchanging the lineup cards at home plate. Manny Acta stayed out of the verbal sparring between Dusty Baker and Derek Lowe last week in Cincinnati. Now the Reds activating Scott Rowland from the disabled list before today's ball game. We take a look at our injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. So Rowland coming off the DL after the groin strain, or a shoulder problem rather. Drew Stubbs is on the DL. Their outfield center fielder, Billy Bray, also down on the 50-day DL. Chris Heisey, their center fielder playing for Drew Stubbs, did not have to go on the DL, but he missed the last 3 games in New York with a groin problem. But he's back in the starting lineup tonight for Cincinnati as the Indians get ready to take the field here tonight behind Derek Lowe, who will be aiming for his 8th win of the season. And as you mentioned before, it's a rematch of last week's game between Lowe and Latos, and Latos threw the ball very well for Cincinnati.
He outpitched Derek Lowe, as a matter of fact, but Lowe has pitched much better in this ballpark this year, so look for good things. And Cincinnati's been hot. They've won their last 6 in a row. They swept the Indians back in Cincinnati. Then they went on the road and went to New York, and they beat the New York Mets, and they swept them, and that was the first time that they had swept the Mets in New York since 2001. So they've been playing very well. They've been scoring some runs, and they've been getting solid pitching as well.
Indians take the field behind Derek Lowe, and we'll take a look at Dusty Baker's starting 9 for the Cincinnati Reds, brought to you by Kia. Zach Cozart will lead it off at the shortstop position. Then Chris Heisey in center. Joey Votto batting third, hitting .500 over his last 22 games, the National League's leader in batting average. Brandon Phillips in the cleanup spot. Then Jay Bruce, another left-handed bat. Ryan Ludwig will hit 6th. Then Scott Rowland. Todd Frazier, who had been playing third base while Rowland was on the DL, will DH and bat 8th. And Ryan Hannigan, the catcher, will hit 9th.
Take a look at Derek Lowe and his numbers, and with a reminder to go to Indians.com and cast your ballot for this year's All-Star game in Kansas City. Making his 14th start. He's a 7-5 record, a 3.78 ERA. In his 78 2/3 innings, giving up 94 hits. He will give up a lot of hits. He keeps the ball in the ballpark. He's only given up 4 home runs. And if he's on his game, he's a ground ball machine. He leads the all of baseball in ground ball per fly ball out. So Derek coming out. He is 3-4 in his 8 career starts against Cincinnati, and he's got a payback for him. We'll see if he can get him rolling tonight. The Indians defense brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, with 4 convenient locations and the best selection of Chevrolets in Northeast Ohio. Tribe's defense looks like this: Damon in left, Brantley in center, Chu in right, Chisenhall at third, Cabrera at short, Kipnis at second, Kochman at first, Santana behind the plate.
Jim Wolf will call the balls and strikes. Darrell Cousins, the crew chief, at first. Ron Culpa at second. DJ Rayburn down at third. Dusty Baker's got this Reds club rolling right now. They're 18-14 on the road. The Indians, after losing yesterday, have fallen a game below .500 here at Progressive Field. Derek Lowe into the line. And we're underway with a pitch down low, ball 1 to Zach Cozart. Good-looking rookie shortstop for Cincinnati. Bangs it off his foot to even the count at 1-1. 74 degrees, our game time temperature. Caught the outside corner. And he gets ahead 1-2. Lowe works quickly down in the dirt to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Zach Cozart, the rookie Red leadoff man, leading National League rookies in runs scored, hits, total bases, multi-hit games, and extra base hits. Popped him up. Out goes Kipnis. Chu got a late break, now calling for it. He's got it. 1 away.
Well, Kipnis going out, and then all of a sudden you can see him peel off because he hears Chu calling for the ball, and that's the outfielder's ball. Took him a while, as you said, he got a late break on it.
Now Chris Heisey. Despite missing the last 3 games with a groin strain, he's hit .327 in his last 27 games, so he's filled in nicely in center field. Popped him up. Cabrera calling for it, now called off by Johnny Damon.
Same
2 down.
thing. 2 out. Both the same way, and the first 2 outs are fly ball outs. Normally you see Derek Lowe getting the ground ball outs. So we'll try a take 2, except we'll go to the left side of the field, and Damon will call off Cabrera.
Couple of weak pop-ups. And now Joey Votto takes a strike outside corner.
Look at this. Is something he did back in Cincinnati. He never leaves the batter's box with Lowe on the mound. He stayed up there and just...
That's hit a long way. Deep right, Chu back, running out of room. He leaps up, can't make the catch. It's gone, a home run. Joey Votto's 13th home run of the year. And Cincinnati takes a 1-0 lead as Votto continues to torment the Tribe.
Continues is right. That's only the 5th home run given up by Derek Lowe this year. And I mean, he put an easy swing on a ball. Watch, and it was high. He had to reach for it a little bit. He knew he got under it. You can see where he's looking. That ball had some carry. Chu goes back. I mean, just made it. Hit on top over the line. And it gets into the seats for a home run for Votto, number 13. Boy, it was him and Phillips that did the damage in Cincinnati, and it's starting off that way again tonight.
And Brandon Phillips looks at a ball down low. Votto is now hit in 7 straight games. Phillips brings a 7-game hitting streak into tonight's action. Weekly tap towards second base, and Jason Kipnis throws him out. But the 2-out home run by Joey Votto takes Cincinnati to a 1-0 lead. For Maniacta's Indians tonight, brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Shin-Soo Choo in the leadoff spot, followed by Asdrubal Cabrera, and then Jason Kipnis, who continues to swing a hot bat. Jose Lopez will bat cleanup, followed by Michael Brantley. Carlos Santana dropped to the 6th spot in the order. Then Johnny Damon, Casey Kochman, and Lonnie Chisenhall.
Matt Latos on the mound for the Reds. His last start against the Indians back in Cincinnati. He went 7 innings, 7 hits, a couple of runs. Walked 1, struck out 7. Throws from the extreme first base side of the rubber. He's got a fastball in the mid-90s, a good changeup, and the curveball. First time he faced the Indians last time, and he pitched a really good game. So they have an idea now what he throws. We'll see if they can make an adjustment and come back and knock him around a little bit.
Latos with a first pitch breaking ball to Choo, in for a strike. That is crushed. Deep right field. Way back and out of here. Into the Reds bullpen, and we are tied at 1. Choo sends the second pitch of the game from Matt Latos, soaring high into the air. And the Tribe comes right back to tie it up.
Well, Choo did that in the day game in Cincinnati. Second pitch of the game, hit the home run. The third time this year he's hit a lead-off home run. Second time in this ballpark. He got a fastball. Latos started him off curveball. Throw the fastball middle of the plate. Choo jumped all over it. Goes into their bullpen. And, boy, we have a new game.
Third leadoff homer this year for Choo. Now is Asdrubal Cabrera. He couldn't wait to get to the ballpark today. When you have a nightmare of a game as he did yesterday, and afterwards he took the loss. He shouldered the burden, saying, "Hey, Gomez was pitching a good game," and he said, "I make those errors, and we lose the game because of it."
Well, you have to. I mean, you're out there every day. You can't be. You're going to have bad days, and yesterday was a bad day for Cabrera. You accept it and you move on. That's the part of being an everyday player. 99 times out of 100, he's going to turn that double play and make it, the way it should be, and you just move on. He's human.
And tonight, the first 15,000 fans collecting an Asdrubal Cabrera bobblehead. The 2-1 pitch. Popped him up. Shallow center. Out goes Brandon Phillips. And he makes the catch. 1 away. Our great clip of the game from yesterday. Jason Kipnis. The first inning home run, giving the Indians the early lead. Great clips. It's gonna be great. Kipnis with 5 hits in his last 2 games. Hitting .284 now on the year with 11 homers and 41 driven in. Fires it in there to even the count of 1-1. Latos works on that extreme first base side of the pitching rubber. Kipnis bangs it foul. Jason hitting .337 over his last 23 games. Chased one in the dirt, and he strikes out 2 away.
Let's take a look at the Home Depot Cincinnati Reds defense. Second in the league in defense with 33 errors. Ludwig in left, Heisey in center, Bruce in right. Rowland at third, Cozart at short, Phillips is at second, Votto at first, Hannigan behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Line drive to short, snared by Cozart to end the inning. Couple of solo home runs in the first, one for Cincinnati, one for Cleveland, and we are tied at 1. Brought to you by McDonald's Cherry Berry Chiller. Cherry and raspberry flavors blended with ice and 100% fruit juice. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Second inning. And Derek Lowe just misses the outside corner to Jay Bruce. Bruce with a liner, Kipnis over his head. He was deep with that shift on, and a perfectly threaded ball off the bat of Jay Bruce.
No kid, that was like a serve in tennis. I mean, it just he placed it perfectly, didn't he?
You're going Wimbledon reference on me,
well,
huh?
Yeah, it's coming up. Wimbledon's coming up. Watch this. 15 love right over the head of Kipnis, who's playing deep. That's a perfect hit right there. You can't place it any better.
15 love. Going to bring up Ryan Ludwig. As Jay Bruce takes his lead at first, held there by Kochman. Ludwig goes after the first pitch, sends a long drive to deep left. Damon back, out of room, hits off the wall, backed up nicely by Brantley. Bruce will have to stop at third, and back-to-back hits to open the second for Cincinnati. Well, Ludwig doubles off the wall and left.
Ludwig has very good numbers against Derek Lowe, low ball hitter, but I'll tell you, Johnny Damon let this ball play him off the wall. He ran it right back to the wall. He had no chance to catch it because it was halfway up. He should have been out there turned around, although it was only a double anyway and he couldn't score. Brantley does a nice job coming over, but you're not going to catch that ball. He ran himself into the wall. You should got to play it off and let it come back to you. No chance. So it's first two guys aboard, second and third. And nobody out.
Well, here's Scott Rowland just off the disabled list for Cincinnati. He's been on the DL for over a month with a left shoulder strain and a swing and a miss. Rowland hitting just 174 on the year with a couple of home runs. And a leave in the count.
Well, when this guy's in the lineup and healthy, he lengthens it.
Yeah.
Normally he'd probably be in the number 4 hole, but Phillips has been swinging the bat well, so he's protecting Votto. And he's coming off shoulder problems, and he's always had him, but he's a clutch hitter.
Drives it in the gap in right field. Reds take the lead. Stopping at third is Ludwig as Jay Bruce comes home. 3 straight hits to open the second inning for Cincinnati, and they lead it 2-1 as Rolen, right off the DL, delivers an RBI hit.
Well, and this is something that Indians pitching has been doing a little bit, a lot lately, is that they're giving up the response runs. Anytime they come back and get a run, they're letting that opposition come back and score right on them and take the momentum away. So 3 straight hits. He stayed inside the ball. At second base, Ludwig he really didn't know where that ball was going. He could only move up a base. Didn't get a good read on it, but it's 2-1 now.
Now Todd Frazier goes after the first pitch. These Reds hitters are very aggressive against low here early in the game. Frazier DHing. He's been playing third base with Rolen on the disabled list. So activating Rolen today gives Dusty Baker, at least for the time being, the ability to keep Frazier in the lineup as the DH. But what happens when they go back to the National League play?
Good question.
In the dirt, good block by Santana.
Yeah, this kid Frazier's done a nice job filling in why Rolen has been out. And it's a case where he's saying, hey, I want some playing time. Now, we did look up, and he did have some time in the outfield, maybe in the minor leagues before. Don't know if he's good enough to play it at the major league level.
Popped in the air. Center field. Brantley charging in.
This will be good.
Ludwig tags. He's not coming home. Brantley got off a great throw right to home plate. And the runners hold one away.
Well, he had him reaching for this pitch, and Michael coming into shallow center field, and why waste any time? Get it all the way there. Didn't have to worry about it, and it's right to Santana, so Ludwig had to go back.
Catcher Ryan Hannigan.
I don't know why they're throwing to first. Roland's not going anywhere. Lowe looking for a ground ball double play, and he has 12 of them this year.
Back out of play.
Well, he's going to that slider early in the count now as he sees these aggressive Cincinnati hitters. He's pretty much, for me, going away from his game plan. When he starts throwing sliders early in the count, he's a sinker ball pitcher. And he's looking to throw a sinker and get a ground ball. And maybe that's why he only has 1 ground ball out.
Line drive right field. That's going to be a fair ball. Chute trying to cut it off. He will. Ludwig scores easily. Rolen goes to third. And holding with an RBI single is Ryan Hannigan. 3-1 Cincinnati.
Well, they almost look like they know exactly what's coming, because they have a good approach against Derek Lowe. Hannigan, this is upstairs though. Watch the sinker up. Can't live up there. He cannot live up there. He's got to be down by the knees or lower. And an easy pitch for Hannigan to go the other way. They have 4 hits in the inning.
4 out of the first 5 have all reached with hits. And now we go back to the top of the order and Zach Cozart.
That's where he has to be, right there. Still with an opportunity to make a pitch and get out of the inning. The 2-for-1 ball.
Comes right back with another strike. It's 0-2. Reds at the corners with 1 out. And the 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him. First strikeout for Lowe. 2 down in the inning.
There you go. Breaking ball down out of the zone. Got him to chase it. So it's a big strikeout, second out of the inning. And when you look at the last 3 games, Pittsburgh and just the start of this one, they have 11 response runs after the Indians have scored. So they have bounced right back and sort of like punched the Indians right back in the mouth, saying, hey, let's go. They took the momentum away.
Chris Heisey popped one up to shallow left his first time up. Trying to squeeze maybe, although the runner wasn't moving.
He's just trying to lay one down with 2 outs for a base hit. With Chisenhall at third playing way back, he figures with 2 outs, if I just put in fair territory, I've got a base hit and score a run. But that's, you're sitting at third base. You're not expecting the hitter to do that.
No, Roland wasn't moving.
No.
Swings and foul tips it 1-2.
Let's see. There's your sinker. There's the movement. And there it starts at the knees and it works its way down out of the zone.
Good block pick by Santana. 2-2. Off the end of the bat, he stays alive. And a full count now. Ryan Hannigan, the runner at first, will take off on the 3-2 pitch to Chris Heisey. Bounce to third. Chisenhall sets, throws, and the inning is over. But the Reds use 4 hits to push 2 across, and they lead it now 3-1. (3-1) Cincinnati. Bottom of the second inning will bring Michael Brantley, Carlos Santana, and Johnny Damon to the plate for the Indians. Matt Latos gave up a leadoff homer to Shin-Soo Choo in the first, then retired the next 3. And as Rick talked about those response runs, see if the Indians can respond now back against Latos.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? A lot of people, it doesn't seem like it means a lot, but it does. When you have an offense right now, the Indians have been scoring a lot, and you go out there and you score, you come back, to give them the lead. They lost 2 leads yesterday to Pittsburgh. It's a big deal sometimes.
Well, and especially when you've lost 5 out of 6, and not to put it all on Derek Lowe's shoulders, but sometimes you need that pitcher to just go out and dominate the other lineup to give you a chance.
Yes, you do. When you want to stop losing streaks or things like that, the center of the mound has a lot to do with it. But you certainly need help defensively. You've got to. It takes a little bit of everything, and right now the Indians got to turn it around. They haven't been very good in interleague play.
Now the 1-1 to Brantley. In the air to center. Back is Bruce. Still going back. It's over his head. On the track and over the fence for a ground rule double. Michael Brantley with his 19th double of the year.
Well, he turned on that ball. He was really quick inside. Looked like he caught a fastball on the inside part of the plate. And watch how quick his hands are. That's a ground rule double, his 19th. Watch his hands work. Get through it, Michael. Attaboy. 93 miles an hour on the inside part of the plate. Normally you'd look at him as he stays inside the baseball, but he just let his hands get through the hitting area and shows you how quick he really is. So there's your leadoff double. So now you look for an out to the right side of the infield or a base hit if you can find the hole.
Well, let's see what Carlos Santana does. Drop to the 6th spot in the order. It's the first time this year he's batted 6th. He's had 6 career games in the 6 hole.
Well, and that's one thing you want to do. You want to take a little pressure off him. And not being in that number 4 hole, he knows what to do with runners on base. I think what Carlos has to do is shorten his swing. Try less. He's been really big. He's been trying to hit some balls, but you want to see him work his way back into it. That's
evens
right.
the count.
Not a pitch you want to swing at right there. The first one looked better than that one.
Well, since coming off the disabled list, Carlos has played 11 games, and he's gone 6 for 39. That's a .53 average. So this is a very logical move to, as you said, maybe just take a little pressure off.
Well, the one hit he got in the Pittsburgh series on Friday night, it was a ground ball over the third base bag on a breaking ball. So he went the other way, and it was the only run of the game until they added on late, until Brantley got a base hit late in the ball game. But, they've been trying to get him to use more of the field from this side of the plate. He shortened it up, and it was a breaking ball right over the third base bag on a 3-2 count, and he scored from first base. Cabrera did. That should tell you right there that you don't have to try and pull everything.
The 1-1. Up high, 2 balls and a strike.
And when we've talked about the Carlos last year, you always talk about, that foot where he's got to raise that foot and his timing mechanism. Anytime a hitter has to raise that foot up, I think more times than not that hitting coach will tell him to make sure you get that foot down earlier.
Yeah.
When you get it down earlier, then your hands start working and they get through the hitting area.
Oh, he bullets it right back up the middle. Brantley, though, broke back towards second base, so he'll stop at third.
That's okay.
But a great piece of hitting there by Santana.
Better.
And a sight for sore eyes.
Yeah, well, much better. Let's take a look at that again if we can see it and just watch the approach on the pitch. Watch his foot get down and his hands come through. It was a breaking ball. There you go. He didn't know that front shoulder didn't fly open. He got the foot down, hit it right back up the box. Good swing, good at bat, and you move the runner up to third base. Well done.
All right, so first and third, nobody out. And Johnny Damon steps in. Damon went 2 for 4 yesterday. But just 5 hits in his last 27 at-bats as he tries to get the Indians a run back here. In off the plate for ball 1. His 2 hits yesterday, Damon blooped one the other way in the left field, and then he pulled a ball to right field later in the game. Takes a strike to even the count. Now, this is another category, though, where the Indians were dreadful against the Pirates, and that's hitting with runners in scoring position.
Well, that's what you want to do early if you can. Get a hit to take some pressure off the rest of the guys in the lineup. That'll do it.
Baltimore chopper to second. Phillips with a bare hand grab and throw to get Damon for out number 1. Picks up his 11th RBI as Brantley comes home to score. Santana moves into scoring position.
Well, there you go. You get the run in from third, and Phillips, man, he went with the bare hand. I thought he was going to go with the glove. Obviously, he felt that Damon was going to get down the line, and that was his only play, but makes a nice play to barehand it, get rid of it, and he was right, because maybe if he did go with the glove, he wouldn't have got him. Look at him. You see him getting his feet in position. Never took his eye off the ball. Barehands it. Good play. So it's now a 3-2 game, and the tying run is on second base.
Yeah, I don't look at that's not a hot dog play at all. He
no,
had to.
no, it's not.
The only shot he had.
That's what he felt. He felt he had to barehand it.
Casey Kochman fouls it first base side.
Brandon, a Gold Glover, he knows what it takes. It's not a hot dog play whatsoever, but you see more and more players nowadays fielding it barehanded. And it's really that a do-or-die play when you do it that way.
Kochman with a hit in 3 straight games. Takes a strike, and he's down on the count, 0-2. Close pitch, just a bit inside.
That's what he did in Cincinnati, if I recall. He came back when he had 2 strikes. After he got ahead with the changeup and breaking ball, he was trying to tie up a lot of the Indians hitters with the fastball inside. And a couple of times he hit with a little comeback pitches. Fastballs in on the plate. He had 7 strikeouts against the Indians in Game 1.
Did he go?
Yes, he did.
DJ Rayburn rings him up, 2 down.
That's strikeout number 2. Take a side look at it and see what you think. Yeah, I would say they made the right call.
Time now for a look at our AT&T trivia question tonight. 9 players have 200 homers, 100 triples, and 1,000 walks. Only one of them is not in the Hall of Fame. Can you name him? We'll have the answer coming up later in the game. Lonnie Chisenhall takes a strike in the inside corner. Chisenhall trying to produce a 2-out RBI hit here to tie the game. Fouled into the Reds dugout, off the facing actually, and over into the crowd.
Well, check out the Indians season ticket guarantee package. It features maximum savings over single game prices on the best seats in the ballpark. And a package that puts you in the middle of the action right here at Progressive Field. Call 216-420-HITS or visit Indians.com.
2 down with Santana at second. And an 0-2 count for Chisenhall. Came inside, not giving him any swinging room, and he keeps banging it over their first base side. Count stays 0-2. That fastball is rocketed it deep to right. Way out of here. Indians take the lead. Lonnie Chisenhall with a 2-out, 2-run homer. And it's 4-3 Cleveland. Talk about response runs.
Yeah.
Lonnie Chisenhall responding in a big way for Cleveland. with a 2-out, 2-run homer, a 3-run second inning, and the Indians go back in front.
Yeah, exactly what you wanted. You wanted to see him come back and make a response. They certainly did. Chisenhall got a fastball, and as soon as that bat came through, Matt Lato said, "Oh my goodness." He knew it was out here. That's going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. 2-run homer that gives the Indians a lead, puts them back on top 4-3 on Chisenhall's 3rd home run.
Up high. You know what's interesting, Rick, is he was trying to bury him in, finally decided to go away. I thought maybe he'd go with an off-speed pitch away, but he went with a fastball, and it leaked over the plate, and Lonnie laced it out of here.
I think he would like to have it back and probably would throw a change-up away.
Shin-Soo Choo, he hit a towering home run to right field his first time up. So we've had some no doubt about it blasts already here tonight. On the first baseline, Votto behind the bag, the long flip, and Latos beats him to the bag to end the inning. Lonnie Chisenhall's 2-out, 2-run homer as the Tribe on top 4-3.
Cold one to look forward to Miller Lite later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Time.
Nicely done.
Thank you, my friend. Would you go have a Miller?
Not yet.
It's a little too early for that.
Joey Votto crushed a home run his first time up, his 13th of the year.
It's a good pitch. That was a pretty good pitch right there. But, I am still amazed. I was amazed in Cincinnati where Votto never leaves the batter's box when he's facing Derek Lowe.
Part of the reason for that is he knows Lowe works quickly, and he doesn't want to get caught off balance or off guard. League leaders brought to you by your Cleveland Akron area Lexus dealers. Joey Votto leads the National League in 9 offensive categories. He leads the league in 9 categories. And he's among the top 10 in 8 more. Lowe will throw him out here, 1 away. Little check swing and a high chopper off the plate or right out in front of the plate.
He almost wanted to stop and catch it and throw it foul. Look at, he checked, watch him. Oh, please get out of here. He knew it was going to be an easy at bat. He wanted to catch it and throw it foul. Boy, that's not too many times you're going to get him out like that.
Remember, Lowe retired him his first time up in Cincinnati when he had him out front in a little topper to first base.
Right.
But after that, he had the better of the Indians. Brandon Phillips grounded to second base his first time up. And Lowe fires a first pitch strike. Our stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. Brandon Phillips has put up very impressive numbers in his career against the Indians. Seems like it was a long time ago that he wore the Indians uniform. We just showed that highlight the other night. What was that, 2003, when he hit the near home run in Pittsburgh that Brian Giles went over the wall and caught?
Yes, it was 2003, exactly.
Right back up the middle, and it gets through. 6th hit of the game for Cincinnati, a 1-out single here in the 3rd. Well, let's head downstairs right now and check in with Katie Witham.
Thanks, Matt. Well, if you're a bobblehead collector, you got to make sure you're here July 4th. That will be the next bobblehead giveaway. You can take home the Sandy Alomar Jr. bobblehead. The first 15,000 fans through the gates will take home the Indians Hall of Famer. If you don't have tickets, log on to Indians.com right now and buy them early.
Thanks a lot, Katie. That's a good-looking bobblehead right there. Sandy with the MVP trophy from that All-Star game in '97. Something unique. Jay Bruce leads the Reds in home runs with 15. He's driven in 5 runs in his last 4 games. 1 behind Joey Votto for the team lead in RBI. 3 balls, no strikes. That caught the outside part of the plate. Indians have a shift on. 3 on the right side. Lonnie Chisenhall over at shortstop on the left side. And it's ball 4 to Bruce. So 2 on with 1 out, and Ryan Ludwig, who doubled off the left field wall his first time up, coming up here.
Yeah, I mean, you pitch around a guy, I mean, like Bruce, and now this guy that's coming up has had very good numbers. He was now 10 for 22 and 5 homers against Derek Lowe in his career.
Takes up high, ball 1. Cincinnati tied for the best mark in the National League in interleague play. Ironically, Cincinnati, who leads the NL Central, has won 6 out of 9 against the AL. The other team that's 6-3 is San Diego. Dead last in the NL West. Swing and a miss. They're also 6-3. Best mark so far in interleague action belongs to the Yankees. They're 10-2, and they've won 9 in a row. Then Baltimore 9-3 against the National League, and also Texas 9-3. Indians have dropped to 4-8 against the senior circuit. Popped him up, back, and out of play. Reds with 2 on and 1 out here in the 3rd. Indians leading at 4-3. Smashed to third, just foul. Very close.
Boy, it sure was. I thought it might have went over the bag fair, but DJ Rayburn's standing right on the bag, and he had a good look at it. That was a sinker up. Boy, it hit in the... Ooh, it almost went over that left corner of the bag, didn't it?
Very close. But a good call by Rayburn, who, as you pointed out, was right on top of it. Almost got him to chase after it, but he holds up. And the count evens at 2-2.
Now, these guys have been aggressive off Derek Lowe and trying to get him early in the count. When Lowe has gotten the batter to 2 strikes, he's done a good job and retired all the Cincinnati hitters 4 times.
Hit to third by Chisenhall. Down the line it goes. Here comes Brandon Phillips. He'll score to tie the game. On his way to second, Ludwig. Here's the throw. Not in time. Ludwig's RBI double, his second 2-bagger of the night, knots the game at 4.
And back comes Cincinnati with the response runs. This is going to be one of those games that looks like all night. This one right over the bag. He kept this one fair. It looked like a changeup. That wasn't a good sinker. It might have been an off speed or a changeup. And you can see where Chisenhall was off the line. So in comes Phillips. Into second goes Ludwig. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles, and we have a tie ball game. And with 1 out, they have a chance to take the lead again.
And Scott Rowland, an opposite field RBI single, his first time up, looks at a ball outside. 3 straight Reds reached in the second, all via hit. 3 straight reach here in the third. 2 hits sandwiched around a walk. Trying to go the other way, fouls it back. It's 1-1.
Yeah, we're in the third inning. They already have 7 hits. And I look at my scorecard, and Derek has 3 ground ball outs. That's not a good sign for him. Although he will give up ground ball hits.
There's a liner opposite field again for Rowland. Another RBI. They're going to try to wave a second round run home, and now the brakes put on at the last second.
Barry was smart to hold him. Ludwig doesn't run well. Again, the second time he could have scored on a hit, but he just doesn't run well. He started to send him, but not with Chu in right field. And the second straight at bat where Rowland gets a base hit the other way, drives in a run. Breaking ball, slider up, out over the plate. And he doesn't look like he's going to be around long for this game. Cincinnati, they're hitting everything he's throwing up there.
Well, for those sinker ball pitchers, it's such a fine line. And if the ball's not down, it becomes very hittable. And Cincinnati's jumping on every pitch he leaves up in the strike zone.
But when you look at the times that Derek Lowe has scuffled, you know, it has been 2 1/3. He's given up 8 runs, 10 hits. 5 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs. You know, I mean, you find out early with him out there, and this could be one of those games because they already have 5 runs in.
And we've got some guys moving around in that bullpen. I'm not sure if somebody's getting up to throw yet.
Well, they better. They better move around quickly.
Yep, somebody's taking the jacket off, and they're about to get loose. It's Jeremy Accardo who will start to loosen up in the Tribe pen. Todd Frazier flied to center his first time up. One ball, 1 strike. Right back up the middle. Kipnis to Cabrera. Back to Kochman. A double play ends the inning. Finally, he gets that 2-for-1 ball he's been looking for, but the Reds get 2, and they take a 5-4 lead middle of the third. On top 5-4. Bottom of the third will feature Asdrubal Cabrera, Jason Kipnis, and Jose Lopez. A seesaw battle so far, and it's still early.
Yeah, there hasn't been a zero on the board yet. So let's see if that continues. Well, you know what? We haven't had a 12-10, 12-11 game yet here, so why not? Today would be a good day for it.
Asdrubal Cabrera shoots it back. Cabrera popped up his first time to the plate. Down low to even the count at 1-1. Smashed foul. And now Cabrera down on the count 1-2. Latos with a 1-2. Just missed.
Pretty good pitch because he took that step like he had a strikeout. You know, watch his step he takes afterwards. It's a breaking ball. Just off the plate, I guess. He thought he had it.
Hannigan tried to frame it, but it looked like it was definitely low, and then he just tried to bring it back. And the 2-2 is swung on and missed. Katie Witham caught up with Ohio State football coach Urban Meyer before the game.
Thanks, guys. I'm hanging out with Ohio State head coach Urban Meyer. Coach, I know you were down there throwing out the first pitch with your son tonight. How did it go?
That went good. There's a lot of people have been texting me and emailing me saying that he threw a little harder than I did, which he probably did. It was just a great experience.
That bothers you a little bit, though, doesn't it?
Well, I was going to try. I wanted to redo. I wanted to have one more shot at him.
Now, you just finished up your first spring with the Buckeyes. How do you feel that went?
I felt it went great. You know, it's one indication of if your team's buying is how they're doing in the classroom, and our guys just had one of the best semesters they've had in the last 10 years. So it's a good sign what's going on right now, and I like our players, and I'm just anxious to get going.
Now, I know you're very familiar with this area, grew up here. What does the Cleveland area offer for Ohio State as far as football goes?
First of all, Cleveland area offers everything. You know, when I hear people talk about where you grew up, I grew up one of the greatest places in Ashtabula, Ohio. I came with was an Indians fan and a Browns fan, going to games on the Lake Erie at the old stadium, and I just back when Dwayne Kuiper and Rick Manning were playing, just great fans. But Cleveland's a great city, great restaurants, great nice clean city, and great people. So what I miss most of all about being away from Ohio were the people.
All right, well, we're glad to have you back in town right now, Coach. Appreciate the time.
Thank you,
guys. We'll send it back to you.
That's a good coach right there.
Anybody drops your name right to the top of the list.
He's my man.
Shows you how old you are.
Yeah, that's true too. Don't have to be told that. I'm going to get him come over here and say hello.
Checked his swing and a weak tapper to first. And a weak inning for the Indians. They go quietly 1-2-3. First zero on the board tonight through 3. The Reds lead at 5-4. Fourth inning here at Progressive Field. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you, joined now by Jason Stanford, the host of Indians on Deck. Seen before games here on Sports Time Ohio. Ground ball up the middle by a diving Cabrera. And the Reds staying aggressive against Derek Lowe. First ball swinging, get a leadoff single. Well, Jason Stanford joining us here in the booth, former Indians pitcher. How you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you guys.
All right, I got a question for you. They've been really aggressive off of Derek Lowe right now as a pitcher. They're swinging at it. What do you do as a pitcher to maybe combat that a little bit?
I think what Derek needs to do is mix it up. He's going fastball, sinker, and he hasn't thrown his breaking ball all that much tonight.
Well, we'll see if he can make some kind of adjustment to take the Reds off his fastball, because they have jumped on every pitch that's been up in the strike zone here so far tonight.
Well,
Zach
earlier,
Cozart 0 for 2.
You know, he did try and throw a few breaking balls earlier in the count. They were upstairs, though. Roland got a base hit early the opposite way on a slider.
You can see, too, Rick, that everything he's throwing right now is right down the middle. It doesn't matter if a sinker is sinking. It's sinking right over the middle.
It's one of those things.
One away for Chris Heisey, who is 0 for 2 on the night. He's flied to left and grounded to third. That's a tough feeling, though, as a pitcher, when you're struggling to find something that'll work. When they're hitting kind of your A-game stuff, you've got to find an alternate route and fast.
Yeah, you really do. And it looks like he's rushing a little bit, too. He's a little bit more up-tempo tonight than he normally is.
Bounce to third, Chisenhall. To second for one.
That's what we're talking about.
Kipnis on the
right
first.
there. That's perfect right there.
An inning-ending double play, and congratulations to Kent State. They stave off elimination, upending Florida in the College World Series. For the fourth inning, Tribe down a run 5-4. They'll send Michael Brantley, Carlos Santana, Johnny Damon to the plate. Boy, after all the fireworks we had in the first three frames, a
4-pitch inning.
3.5 frames, yeah. I mean,
he had a 4-pitch inning, giving up a base hit. How do you like that?
Right after the Indians went 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the third. Michael Brantley doubled to lead off the second inning, and that sparked a 3-run rally for the Tribe.
Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to ask Jason, too, while we have you here. As far as when you're pitching, you got that ball in your hand and your team goes out and score, that when you got to have a shutdown inning, you try and go out and throw that goose egg up every time, huh? The Indians have been giving it up a lot as far as the response goes. But as a pitcher, man, I need a 1, 2, 3 inning here, don't you?
Yeah, and that's the truth. And you look at what Lowe was able to do there. It was good.
Brantley lines one to center field, and a diving attempt off the glove of Heisey. Brantley's going to turn and burn. He's in easily with his second leadoff double of the game. Terrific effort by Heisey, and he had leather on it, but it didn't stick.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, Michael again turns on another pitch and gets this one into right center field. You know, I'm not so sure he dives for it if he had to. I think off the bat he felt he was going to have to dive for it. Let's look at it again. If he could have ran through this ball, I think he could have stayed on his feet. I don't think he had to dive. And when you dive, I mean, it changes your eye level. He's going to push it out of the glove, hits him right on the heel.
Yeah, I think he overran that too. He was fast. He was faster than he thought he was.
I think initially when that ball left the bat, he thought he was going to have to make a diving play, and by the time he got there, he just left his feet. Good thing for Brantley, though. Another double for Michael.
Carlos Santana looks at ball one off the plate. Santana, his first time up with a good at bat, and he took one right back up the gut for a base hit.
Yeah, that was a real that whole inning set it up where they got their 3 runs. See if they can do it again. You've got the same scenario. Brantley lead off double.
And a breaking ball in for a strike to even the count.
Well, it's good to see Carlos Santana little by little progressing like he's supposed to. He's getting that foot down a little bit quicker, too, that we've been able to see. And going the other way, that time going up the middle.
Right.
It's nice.
That's something he has to do. And, I mean, this team, you need him being a switch hitter that he is.
I'll tell you what, this is the 7th game in his career. He's hitting the 6 hole. He's now 10 for 20.
I think he should stay in the 6th hole. How about that?
Yeah.
You know, and as we talk about all the time, it's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to get it in one game. It's a prolonged. You've got to come out day by day and get positive results every day. And that first at bat could certainly lead to another run.
Missed down low, 3-1.
I think what a lot of fans don't realize, too, is it's tough during the middle of the season to try to correct something that's so small, especially up here at the big league level. I mean, you're facing guys that are the best at their craft.
Well, the pitchers, when you have a weakness, they exploit it. It's a small fraternity, and if you can't hit a pitch inside, that's all you're going to see until you prove you can hit it.
Right, exactly.
The book gets out pretty quickly, doesn't it?
Very quickly.
Well, you know, nowadays with the video and everything, the way everything's at and the way they shift defenses now, you've got to make an adjustment in a hurry.
3-1 to Santana. Ball, oh no, a little bit of a delayed call by
Ball
Jim
3.5.
Wolf. Yeah. Borderline pitch.
Well, there's another look at it.
Wow.
Well, okay, you got another chance to stay up and hit then. That's good.
As a pitcher, I like those pitches.
Yeah.
As a hitter, though, that's tough.
Latos, the 3-2, and Santana strikes out.
See, he's frustrated now because he felt he had a walk.
4th strikeout for Matt Latos. And our minor league update today brought to you by University Hospitals. Court Phelps in a 6-2 win yesterday went 2 for 3 with a homer and drove in 3. He's hit in 12 of his last 13 games for the Clippers. Now Johnny Damon, an RBI ground out his first time up. Damon chopped it right off the plate in the 2nd inning. And Brandon Phillips made a terrific bare hand grab and throw to get him. This will be the 50th pitch of the game coming up right here from Matt Latos. He missed inside with it, 2-0.
Watching Matt throw last week against the Indians, he was able to establish that fastball inside. He hasn't been able to do that tonight. It hasn't run back over like it was down in Cincinnati.
He's pitched very well down there in that ballpark, and that's a pitch you need in that ballpark because the ball carries so well. He's tried a little bit to get inside with 2 strikes on him, but hasn't been able to do it consistently.
Well, and that's a pitch that we have seen. it doesn't seem to matter that it runs back over the plate. Hitters just can't react to it. You know, they give up on it because they don't expect it to maybe bleed back over the inside corner.
Yeah, a lot of times I tried to do it with 2 strikes all the time, tried to throw a little two-seamer that would start at the hip and kind of run back over as much as possible.
Damon taking all the way.
But when you miss, you better hope that it doesn't go out of the ballpark.
Well, yeah, you don't want to miss on the dish.
Latos.
But not a lot of right-handers throw that pitch. You know, Bartolo Colon used to be one of the guys that did it here. You know, you'd start it and you'd see that good comeback as a right-hander. Left-handers do because you guys can't throw the ball straight.
That's the truth.
No matter how hard you try.
Yeah. Everybody always asks, well, what kind of fastball do you throw? Well, it's a 4-seam fastball, but it moves.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
3-1 count for Damon with Brantley at second base and 1 out. Tribe down a run here in the bottom of the 4th. Off the end of the bat, right back to the mound. Latos looks Brantley back, 2 down. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios right now. Al Pulaski is going to tell us how Kent State staved off elimination in the College World Series.
Well, Matt, it was a tight one tonight. 9th inning, bases loaded, 2 outs. Josh Pierce to Justin Schaefer of Florida. He flies out to right, and it's over. Kent State hangs on to win 5-4. They'll advance. They'll play on Wednesday in Omaha. Guys?
Good for them. Congratulations, boys.
Boy, thrilling finish. They had everybody on the edge of their seat in that 9th inning.
And that's how they've gone through the playoffs, isn't it? Exciting baseball, 1-run games, a couple of great plays. Good for them. Congratulations. Go on and win.
Yeah, that series in Oregon they had was about as good a series as you'll see.
One thing that Kent State has this year, they have really good starting pitching. Their bullpen's pretty good, too. A couple kids drafted pretty early.
Knocked off Florida.
It doesn't matter what level you bat. Give me good starters, a good bullpen, and we got a chance to win, boy.
And they've shown it so far. It's been nice.
Well, they have the bats working early today to jump out to the early lead. Kochman drives it to deep center. Heisey's out of room. It's out of here. Casey Kochman with a 2-out, 2-run homer. The Indians' second 2-out, 2-run blast of the game. And they regain the lead against the Reds.
That's going to be one of those games, baby.
6-5 Tribe.
When you get 2-run homers from your 8 and 9 hitters, Chisenhall and now Kochman, with 2 outs, that's saying something. He put a jolt into this one. Good swing right over the Indians' bullpen, and the Indians regain the lead, 6-5. Kochman his 6th homer.
Now Lonnie Chisenhall, who hit the 2-out, 2-run homer in the 2nd inning. He hits one fair down the first base line. He's on his way to second base with at least a double. He's going to turn and burn. He's going for 3, and he'll go in easily with a triple. That ball went all the way down into the right field corner. And Chisenhall had the hammer down all the way around.
He sure did. He got a breaking ball that speeds up his bat. Able to keep it fair down the line and into the corner. And I want to see if Bruce had any trouble getting it out of the corner. Well, he goes all the way to third. He can go up. He could have went in standing. Goes in head first. His first triple. 5 extra base hits now for the Indians out of their 7 hits.
Brian Price, the Reds pitching coach, out to talk with Latos. This is exactly what the Indians needed offensively. Breaking out of the doldrums here, swinging the bats well tonight.
Well, it's been nice to see the bottom half tonight, the 6, 7, the 7, 8, and 9 guys really doing the job. Because early on it was the 1 through 5 guys were doing it, and now tonight, 7, 8, 9.
Sam LeCure has just gotten up in the Cincinnati bullpen. Top of the order, Shin-Soo Choo. He hit a home run off Latos to start the game. Bounced it in front, and Hannigan with a terrific block.
Redbird tells me, Matt, that's only the 5th triple in this ballpark this year, which is tied for the fewest.
Wow.
In all of baseball. This is not a good triples park, but Lonnie gets one.
Wow, that was close to going over Hannigan's shoulder. He just looked like the left shoulder to keep that ball in front of him. 2-0. Yeah, we've talked about it, Rick. Unless you hit it maybe over the center fielder's head where he runs into the wall, this is not a park that produces very many triples. Chu with a high drive, deep left. Ludwig back, on the track, at the wall, high off the fence. Chisenhall scoring easily from third. Chu with a 2-out RBI double. And the Indians' extra base machine continues to roar here in the 4th.
Oh, that was a pretty swing, huh? We're sitting back on a breaking ball. When you're taking his breaking ball the other way going off the wall as a pitcher, you're thinking, man, what do I have to do now? He can't pitch him in. They've turned on so many baseballs. Now he's trying to throw that breaking ball an 82-mile-an-hour curve. They take him off the wall. It's a 7-5 game, and the Indians have their hitting shoes on tonight.
Boy, he just missed maybe a couple of feet from hitting that out of here.
This is interesting to see how they're using the whole field tonight. They're not trying to pull off the ball. They're keeping their front side in. They're seeing that breaking ball better.
Yeah.
And I think that's been the big key that the Indians have not had of late. That's why they're losing so many games, not only because of the bullpen, but with offensively.
Well, yeah, and that's got to be a bad feeling when you're a pitcher throwing out their slow stuff away. They're taking it to the left. You're trying to go in. They're pulling the ball. What do you do? And, when they faced him in Cincinnati, that was the first time he faced the Indians ever. So now they have an idea what's happening, and they're showing him, like, hey, we're making an adjustment. And now it's time for him.
Matt Latos about to make his 60th pitch of the game as Drupal Cabrera 0 for 2. And a first pitch strike.
This is one of those games, too, where the Indians now 3 for 3 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. They're starting to hit with 2 outs, with runners in scoring position. You get that first one. Sometimes it takes a lot of pressure off, and Chisenhall did it back in the second. Kochman did it. Now Chu does it.
Cabrera could knock Latos out of the game right here. A little bit low, 1-1.
Yeah, he doesn't know what to do now.
And he's changed from being a power pitcher right now. He's throwing all off-speed stuff. He's trying to change it up just to get anything going right now.
Usually 3 balls that leave the yard will scare you throwing that fastball. In his first 13 starts, he allowed 3 home runs with runners on. He's already done it twice tonight.
Squibb the other way to third. Roland throws him out to end the inning. But the Indians get it rolling here in the 4th with 2 outs. Casey Kochman's 2-run homer, and the Tribe is on top. Baseball is brought to you by Panini's, with 17 locations in Northeast Ohio. by Levin's, home of the Sealy Posturepedic mattress, made right here in Northeast Ohio. And by Kia. 7-5 Tribe, fifth inning. Joey Votto, Brandon Phillips, Jay Bruce due here for the Reds. Votto 1 out of 2, homered in the first, and then on a little check swing, he topped one back to the pitcher's mound.
Boy, if there's ever a time you want a 0 on the board, it is now.
That's hit high and deep to left. Damon back to the fence. He can't make the catch again. Brantley there to back it up. That'll hold Votto to a double.
Boy, that guy can hit. Well, that one's a little different. Johnny had to go back. He wasn't sure if he was going to be able to catch this one. This wasn't like the first ball that went off the wall. He had to go all the way back. It's going to be a double anyway. This guy can just flat out hit. Best hitter in the National League average-wise, and he has great power, especially the other way. Damon goes back and too high off that wall. So back comes Cincinnati. We're going to have a barn burner tonight.
Brandon Phillips, 1 out of 2, singled and scored in the third. He's hit an 8 straight.
You look at Votto's swing, it's just so smooth through the zone. I mean, he doesn't try to do too much with it.
He's spread out.
Yeah,
I know it. That first ball he hit the home run on, Jason, it's like he barely swung. He just went out and hit it so high.
Well, Brandon was trying to bunt there, and it goes back foul.
I don't know why. You're in the middle part of the game. You're up there. You're in the number 4 hole, man. To get a base hit.
He's up there as the pitcher right now.
Especially the way he swings the bat against the Tribe. He had a great series in Cincinnati. He had a base hit in his last at-bat. And he goes that way so well anyway.
The 0-1. These games have to be tough on managers and pitching coaches because both teams have already had their bullpens up, but the starter just gets out of the inning, so you're not sure. Do we have the guy warming up to start the inning? You just don't know.
Yeah, it's rough, especially being that middle relief long guy. You have no idea. You get up a few times.
Hit to third and a fair ball over the bag. Around third, Votto will score. Damon crashed into the wall hard. He might have hurt himself chasing after the ball. Phillips around third. He's going to come all the way around. Throw to the plate, and he is safe. Phillips scores to tie the game.
Damon did something to his left arm, I guarantee it.
He went into that wall, the sidewall, hard and awkwardly. Well, see how it's ruled. I'm assuming right now it's an inside the park home run.
I would think so. That ball goes right over the bag, and it was right past the tarp. Now watch how if that right shoulder goes into the wall. Boom. Sure did. And then he's holding, I don't know if it was his back, his left arm. By the time he gets it, he throws it in, he goes right down.
Okay, they're going to rule it a double and a 2-base error on Damon. Regardless, 2-run score. And we are back to an even game at 7-7. I think you're right, Rick. I think just the jarring of going into that wall, it looked like it might have been the back. I don't think it was his arm necessarily. It might have been something between the shoulder blades. You know?
And it could possibly be his cleats could have got caught in the rubber down there. I mean, it's tough. I mean, when you come in here, his foot gets. No, he just goes
try
hard
and block
in.
it. He wanted to play the carom off the wall. And then all of a sudden, that ball got between his legs. Watch it come back between his legs. He couldn't block it, and there he hits the wall. Something hurt.
That's like being in a car accident right there.
Well, to say he went in awkwardly would be an understatement.
All right, so it was scored a double and
a 2-base error.
Okay.
Tony Sipp heating up in the Tribe bullpen.
This is just going to be one of those tough nights where you try to put up a 0, you have 4 pitches the last inning, and all of a sudden, 2 quick runs.
Yeah, I know it. It's one of those nights. They were on low right from the get-go. And, the only inning they didn't score was that last 4-pitch inning. And other than that, they put 2 on the board in every inning. They hit 1 in the first inning, a Votto solo homer. So, yeah, this is going to be decided by the bullpens. There's no doubt about it.
2-2 the count on Bruce.
I think the positive thing you can take out is the Indians have scored 7 runs so far.
Yeah, hey, we're only in the 5th inning. That's a good thing. They're swinging the bats well tonight. Cincinnati, though, they have the best bullpen in the National League. Pittsburgh left town. They came in with it, but Cincinnati has it now as far as ERA goes.
3-2 pitch. Bruce drives it to deep right. Chu is there, and he reaches down to snare it for out number 1.
This ball, he's not fooling many.
No, and you look right there. I mean, that ball is supposed to be inside. Carlos sets up inside, and it flushes right back over the middle of the plate with ease. And when you're not overpowering like Lowe isn't, those balls are going to get hit hard.
Ryan Ludwig, 2 doubles tonight, an RBI and a run scored. It's going to be a game of last man standing here tonight. Crushed foul, way out in front of it.
It's going up into the Terrace Club and have a little dinner.
Santana going out to talk with Lowe. The 0-2. Ludwig beats it into the ground. Cabrera charging. 2 away.
You had an opportunity yesterday, Jason, to do the radio with Jim Rosenhaus. How did that go?
It went good. It was a fun experience to be in the booth for the first time. A little bit different than the TV.
That's the first time you've ever done any radio or a game like that?
It is. And, I mean, it was. It was something different. Got to tell some stories. But it was interesting.
Jason Stanford with us here in the 5th inning. Scott Rowland a swing and a miss. Rowland coming off the DL, 2 for 2. 2 singles, both driving in a run.
And both singles going the other way. And Rowland's a guy that will take what you give him. He won't get greedy. He'll make you throw strikes, and they're going to love to have this guy back in the lineup. And once he gets back into a groove, he'll be back in the number 4 hole.
Could be a real difference maker for Cincinnati. Swung on and missed 2-2, because as you said earlier, he gives you, one more bat, lengthens that lineup out. Dusty Baker has said Todd Frazier is still going to play at third because probably not going to play Rowland every single day. He's still got to get his legs back under him.
It's a good pitch there.
That's a really good pitch.
Well,
right there.
If you don't get that pitch,
Yeah.
that's why there's so many hits in this game. There's a lot of pitchers that have made pitches tonight and they haven't gotten a call. If you don't get that call, you're in trouble. You got to bring it on the plate more. The guys are going to hit it hard.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, veteran guys, rookie, it doesn't matter if you can't get pitches where you're spotting up and the catcher's not moving his glove. And I guarantee Carlos is not setting up off the plate on purpose.
Right.
And that ball's hitting his glove and he's not moving it. It's got to be a strike somehow.
3-2 pitch. Got him to chase. Lowe gets his second strikeout. And the inning is over, but Cincinnati comes back with 2 more to tie it at 7. Play the Firestone South Course 1 month before Tiger, Rory, and Phil play in the Bridgestone Invitational. 1 day only, July 2nd, and the proceeds benefit the First Tee program. Register by logging on to stohd.com. Playing spots are going fast, so don't delay.
Firestone South, you ever play it?
I have not played it.
Beautiful.
That's what Terry Clark was our pitching coach in Akron.
Right.
He would go out and freaking play that course every day.
Yeah.
Would he invite any of us? No.
He was a good golfer, too.
Was.
Yeah, Clarkie was. All right, we have a new pitcher for the Reds now. Sam LeCure coming on.
How about that stash?
18th time, yeah.
Old time. So Matt Latos goes 4 innings, allowing 7 runs on 8 hits.
Coming off that HBO series, Deadwood.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
I was about to say, I'm your Huckleberry.
Jason Kipnis will lead off for the Tribe, 0 for 2 tonight. And LeCure fires a fastball in there for strike 1.
Yeah, that's going to be up to the bullpens now.
Kipnis drives one to left center. Long run for Heisey, but he has good speed. He gets there for out number 1. This game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Wish me luck. Lonnie Chisenhall with a home run made it 4-3, his 2-out, 2-run homer. Casey Kochman with a 2-out, 2-run homer. Put the Indians up 6-5. And then Brandon Phillips with the double down the line. It gets by Damon, a 2-base error, and that tied the game at 7. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Jose Lopez 0 for 2 on the night. You know, Jason made the point. The Indians getting production from the bottom of the order tonight. The 2, 3, 4 hitters for the Indians, 0 for so far. So they're doing all this, and the guys that normally have done a lot of the damage haven't been part of the party.
Well, that's okay. Anytime your bottom part of the lineup hits, it's a bonus. These guys now, that are in that middle part of the lineup, they'll get it done before it's over.
Lopez trying to snap an 0 for 12 slump. Now the 1-1. Check. Did he go? They appeal. He did not. You know what's going to be interesting to see is, will the bullpens alter the way this game has gone so far? Because it's been an offensive dominated game to this point, but now different arms, different arm angles. You know, will it be a completely different game now?
They'll quiet it down. I think it will. I think it'll settle down into play now. You get into the bullpens.
Well, Rick, that's what you were talking about, too. You know, Cincinnati has one of the best bullpens in baseball right now, and when the Indians get the lead, they have probably the best bullpen in baseball with the back 3 guys, and Joe Smith warming up right now. So it'll be interesting to see if the Indians can give him a run or 2 right here offensively. I mean, it might be left up to those 3 guys.
Well, don't think that Manny doesn't realize that. That's why Smith's up, and we're going into the 6th inning. You know, they're hoping that they're going to get a run and score.
Off the end of the bat, a little squibber right back to the mound. 2 down. Well, it's going to bring up Michael Brantley. He's been the fire starter so far here tonight. He's led off twice with doubles, and he's come around to score each time. Now batting with 2 outs and the base is empty.
Michael's filled into this number 5 spot very nicely this year. I mean, he's bounced around all season long, hitting in the leadoff, the 6 hole. But I like him right here.
Well, and he's hitting in the number 5 hole because of, guys of injuries and other things like that. He's probably not a number 5 hitter, but he had a 22-game hitting streak going on. And I'll tell you, he's got over 30 RBIs.
Well, he's hit .318 with runners in scoring position.
Give him opportunities to drive in the runs, and he'll get it done. It may not be via the long ball,
right?
But he'll get it done with a base hit and a quality at bat. Just give me guys that can hit when you get runners on base. And he doesn't give at-bats away. He'll take his walk. He makes a pitcher work. You know, the initial thought coming into this year, he'll lead off. Well, okay, it didn't work out earlier until they put Chu in that leadoff spot, which is fine. Sometimes you have to make adjustments. The manager did.
Taking?
Say that's a strike. I mean, that's a strike. I'm sorry.
And that's tough.
If you can't get this pitch called a strike as a pitcher, you're in trouble. That makes the plate like 12 inches wide, not 17.
Right, it does. I mean, and you have to set up because you're trying to set up your next pitch, and if you can't.
I know it. If that's not a strike, how do you set up your next pitch? You don't.
Right.
Brandon Phillips will flip it over. And 1, 2, 3 go the Indians here in the 5th. We are tied at 7.
Hanging out in the Subway Extreme Fan Zone with Mary Ann and Tom. They're today's $25 Indians Fun Money winner. You can be a winner too. All you have to do is buy tickets to sit out here in the Subway Extreme Fan Zone for home games. It's a great view out here. Mary Ann, are you enjoying the game sitting out here?
Pardon?
Are you enjoying the game hanging out here?
Yes, we enjoy the game up here. We sit. These are our regular seats.
Very nice.
So we enjoy it. We have a great view, and it's wonderful. We like the game.
Yes, absolutely. You can keep an eye on everything up here. If you want to be a winner, all you have to do is sit here as well. Subway is where winners eat. Matt, Rick, Jason, we'll send it back over to you guys.
All right, thanks, Katie. 7-7 ball game. 6th inning. Todd Frazier, Ryan Hannigan, and Zach Cozart. Joe Smith coming on now for the Indians as the Tribe goes to the bullpen. Derek Lowe out after 5 innings. He allowed 7 runs on 11 hits. Smitty for the 30th time this year. 4 wins, a loss, ERA 3.25.
Well, for Derek giving up the 11 hits to Cincinnati. We talked about how aggressive the offense was. He gave up 2 hits on the first pitch, 4 hits on the second, and 3 hits on the third. So they were getting after him early. And here they come swinging at Smitty early, too.
It's like the Reds come on this road trip, and all of a sudden they're just ambushing everybody.
Yeah.
Well, Brooke Jacoby just must have had a team meeting and said, swing early, swing often.
Well, that's okay. You know what can combat that? A few pitches inside, knock them back off the plate a little bit, and they look awfully comfortable in the batter's box. There's Jake.
Reds hitting coach, former Indians third baseman. There's a pitch inside.
That's someone's got to tell Smitty that's not going to get called. Slider.
Boy, I don't remember Jim Wolf having such a small strike zone. But we've seen a number of pitches tonight that look like the balls are right on the plate, not off by a little. You know, like a pitcher where sometimes you're going to get a little. Balls we've seen look like they're on the dish and not getting called.
I think that's why there's so many runs and hits in this game. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's
been some mistakes.
Yes.
That's a strike,
yeah.
and that brings him up.
That's good. Good pitch by Smitty here. You see a little sinking fastball at the knees. Right there, and I would say at the corner as well.
And that's a perfect pitch right there. Anytime that you can get that spot right there, you're going to have success, because with Smitty, he has to have that pitch to set up his slider.
Jason, when you're in a game like that and you've got an umpire that, let's just say, has a small zone, and you're trying to compensate for that, what can happen to you adversely in those situations?
Well, mentally, it starts to drain on you, especially as a starter. I mean, and you could probably see Derek Lowe grasping a little bit to try to get a little bit more on the ball that he's not accustomed to. But I think, personally, you just have to make sure if you can establish it, keep throwing it there. I think it's better if you're able to throw it back-to-back pitches instead of going once and then go away. If you go back-to-back pitches on it and he sees that the umpire sees it, I think it's better off.
More likely to get maybe some calls going your way. Then.
Yeah, exactly.
1-1 count for Hannigan, who has 2 hits.
Yeah, I would think it's hard to change your game plan. You're taught to, boy, I want to pound that ball down in the end with singers and go with my changeup away or whatever it may be. You've got to stay with your game plan. You can't adjust to but you do have to make adjustments to umpires as well as hitters.
Yeah, you do, and it's huge, especially up at this level.
Into the crowd, look out below. Well, you always hear with young kids, they always tell young kids, don't aim the ball. But when you get in a situation like that where the strike zone appears to be shrinking on you, maybe you do try to start forcing it, and that's when maybe you overthrow or you miss right down the middle of the plate.
Yeah, a lot of times that'll happen when you really try to compensate for something that you probably don't have in your repertoire. You know, it's pretty tough and difficult.
Well, we're taking a timeout here because somebody got smoked by that line drive foul ball by Ryan Hannigan, and they're calling for some medical personnel to take a look at the fan. And so with that, home plate umpire Jim Wolf has allowed the players to kind of gather themselves, because, folks, anytime a ball goes into the stands, all these players are watching. They're all looking to make sure that the fans are okay. And now we're getting a lot of folks clapping, which would indicate that that's a good sign, a very good sign.
Well, and that's a scary situation. You're about 5 rows back, just above first base dugout. And, I mean, these balls come in screaming off these bats.
Well, it won't be long before there's going to be netting all the way around, from dugout to dugout, you know, I think in every ballpark, because with the way the seats are, they're so close to the field. And it doesn't matter if you're paying attention or not. That ball can come in and hit you. If someone's in front of you and they see it's coming their way and they move out of the way, you're dead.
You're in those seats. It's not like you have a lot of place to move.
That's
yeah,
right.
Exactly.
You cannot move, especially with youngsters. To me, I don't think it'll be long. It'll be a couple of years, and you'll see netting going from around first base to third base side, I would bet.
Bouncer to second. Kipnis throws over, 2 down.
Come down to Progressive Field on Thursday, July 5th for Dollar Dog Night. Buy early and save on seats as the Tribe takes on the Tampa Bay Rays, and enjoy hot dogs for only $1 all night long, courtesy of Sugardale. Log on to Indians.com for tickets.
That'll take us right into the All-Star break. Another Dollar Dog Night.
Rick, you like them?
No. I've been here too long. I've had them, too many of them. They have them over in the press room.
He's good for about $1 a night.
No, come on.
Wow.
That'd be 162 over the course of a year.
Well, if you average it out over the course of the year, you might be close.
Whew.
At home. I'm not saying on the road, at home.
That's a lot of hot dogs.
Yeah, it is.
Jason Stanford with us here tonight. Spending a few innings in the booth. Former Indians pitcher and one of the hosts of Indians on Deck, seen before the ball games here on Sports Time Ohio.
We got one more inning, the bottom half. I won't ask you now because there's 2 outs. We'll wait till the next inning.
Up and in. 3 balls and a strike. Zach Cozart 0 for 3. Twice he's flied out, once he has struck out. Full count. And the payoff pitch inside, ball 4. So the 2-out walk keeps the inning alive now for Chris Heisey. I mentioned the Indians' 2, 3, and 4 hitters haven't been part of the Indians' offensive attack. The top 2 hitters for Cincinnati in their lineup, Zach Cozart, Chris Heisey, they're 1-2 hitters. 0 for the ball game. Cozart reaching with a walk first time tonight. Heisey bounced into an inning-ending double play his last time up. Chop to third, foul. Cubs lead the White Sox 2-0. They're in the 4th at U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago. Bounce to third, fair ball this time. Chisenhall sets and throws, and the inning is over. We'll move to the bottom of the 6th. Still tied at 7. Carlos Santana, Johnny Damon, Casey Kochman due up here for the Indians. Matt Latos started for Cincinnati. He went the first 4. And the Tribe jumped on him for 7 runs on 8 hits. Sam LeCure came on and worked a 1-2-3 5th inning. First time the Indians, actually second time the Indians have gone in order tonight. Forgot Latos did have a 1-2-3 inning despite all the extra base hits the Indians have hammered out tonight. Santana 1 for 2. Singleton scored in the 2nd. The Indians have already equaled their season high for most extra base hits in a game with 7. They did it against Kansas City in back-to-back games in April.
I know what I wanted to ask Jason was back in, I guess you told in between innings, it was 2007, that start you had down in Florida against Dontrell Willis in 07. And you had a tough time getting to the ballpark, huh?
I did. We normally, as a starting pitcher, you try to get to the ballpark about 2 hours prior to, go through your routine, get yourself ready for the game. And I barely made it. I got there about an hour prior to the game. Had to get dressed, get my rub downs, get stretched and everything, get out there to warm up.
How nervous was it while you're driving around trying to find the ballpark?
I was freaking out because down in Florida they have all those toll roads down in Miami. But once you get on, you can't get off. Calling the clubhouse guy. I called Mike Seggy first. He put me in touch with the clubhouse guy for the Marlins. And they took me through some back streets that I don't think anybody would ever want to go through.
Well, now they have the new ballpark this year. Of course, we haven't been there, but it'd be nice to see. I'm sure we'll see it eventually.
Santana, one hot bullet by Votto. And the Indians get their leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the sixth. All right, time now to get the answer to our AT&T trivia question tonight. 9 players, 200 homers, 100 triples, 1,000 walks. Only one is not in the Hall of Fame, and the reason? He's not eligible yet.
Anybody know? JD got his 1,000th walk on Saturday. Those are impressive numbers, fellas.
The other guys on that list: Babe Ruth, Stan Musial, Lou Gehrig, Willie Mays, Jimmy Fox, George Brett, Paul Molitor, Rogers Hornsby. That's pretty much like the who's who of the Hall of Fame.
That is an unbelievable group right there.
Look at that. So
in one hand, you almost say, well, that kind of automatically punches the guy's card to Cooperstown, doesn't it?
Well, who knows? That's impressive. When you put yourself in the names or in that category, you would think so.
And Redbird tells me Hank Aaron just missed that list by 2 triples.
No kidding. It's about the only list he's not on.
Yeah.
That's because he hit too many home runs.
Yeah. He didn't have to stop at third. Right. He kept running.
It just shows you the longevity of Johnny Damon's career, too.
Right.
I mean, it's been remarkable to see him continue to play.
Well, that's what it's all about to get into the Hall is, your durability, your longevity, and there goes another extra base hit.
Deep to right field, and short hops the wall. Santana flying into third. Smitty's going to hold him there. Second and third, no outs here in the 6th inning as Johnny Damon drives a double into the right field corner. And it was well played by Jay Bruce. He played it off the screen in front of the bullpen, got it quickly to the cutoff man, and then Steve Smith said, hold it right there, Carlos Santana, because now the inning's set up.
Well, it is set up, and Damon turns on that ball. It short tops the screen or over in front of their bullpen. And Smitty he doesn't want to make it out at home plate to start this inning off, especially in a tie ball game. You've got a couple opportunities now to get him home.
Now, Brandon Phillips, the cutoff man, he's got a great arm, too, so you're not going to take an unnecessary chance there with nobody out. Casey Kochman, a 2-run homer his last time up. Inside ball 1. With 2 outs in the 4th inning. Kochman drove one out of here. His 6th home run of the year. Remember, he had 4 home runs on the season and none here at home. But his last 2 homers have both come here at Progressive Field on this homestand.
Boy, the bottom part of the lineup, 5 through 9 today, 8 for 13. 6 runs, 5 ribbies. That's what you're talking about, and a chance to add to that and to those numbers right here.
Well, the Indians were doing that earlier in the season, too. The top of the lineup would get on base, and the bottom lineup would be driving them in when Jack Hanahan was healthy. And you can just see when a team is clicking on all cylinders, top from bottom, they're doing a really good job offensively.
Well, it's fun to watch teams like that, and when you're and every team goes through struggles too of not being able to hit with runners in scoring position.
Well, Rick, you said it before. Baseball's not necessarily thought of as a team game, but offensively, it is a team game. And when you're going well, the 4-hole hitter doesn't feel like, well, I've got to hit here or we're not going to get the run in. He can take his walk or not have to go out of his comfort zone.
Everybody believes in everybody else, and you just, you keep it moving. If you don't do your job, your other guy picks you up, and that's just the way the game is played day in and day out.
Well, 3-0 count with Chisenhall on deck. And Kochman taking a strike.
All right, rightfully so.
I mean, it's amazing how hitting is contagious. I mean, you look at everything. When the Indians were playing the White Sox up there, I mean, just everything was just, it didn't matter where the ball was thrown. It looks a lot like tonight. I mean, the Indians have done a very good job of hitting doubles and hitting triples and home runs.
Season high 8 extra base hits tonight. 3-1 pitch. Fooled him, full count.
All right, he went after a little aggressive there. He was looking for a fastball and got the breaking ball, so maybe he should have taken it. But he comes up empty. He wanted to drive him in. He helped him out right there. It might have been ball 4.
Sam LeCure trying to work out of trouble here with second and third, nobody out. Kochman with a 3-2 count. See if he gets another hook on this payoff pitch. Fastball hit up the middle. Phillips backhanded stop. His only play at first. Kochman retired, but the Indians take an 8-7 lead as Casey has his third RBI in the night.
Very productive out right there. Not only do you score the run, you move Damon over to third base. You give the next guy an opportunity to drive him home as well, and he tried to sneak the fastball by him. I was a little shocked there. I thought he might come back with another breaking ball to see if he'd get him to chase it. But
and that's what I was thinking, too, because he went 3-1 with a breaking ball, got to 3-2. And normally when you're doing that, you're going to come back with a breaking ball more times than not. Like you said, he tried to sneak that fastball in on the hands of Casey, and he did a great job of not striking out, of being able to put the ball in play. The defense was playing back and get the go-ahead run in.
And now they got to bring the infield in to try and cut off the insurance run here. It's only the 6th inning, but it's one you'd love to have.
Lonnie Chisenhall has homered and tripled already tonight, and that's driven foul on the left side, slicing out of play.
This is the big thing that I teach my high school kids right now is runners in scoring position with less than 2 outs, infield in. And we work on it nonstop every day during the season of just putting the ball in play, trying to hit fly balls here. You know, as much as you can. Where the ball is pitched, you take it and you go with it. If it's thrown away, you just try to dump it into left field, or if you're a righty, try to dump it into right field, and so forth.
And the thing you can tell any hitter in a situation like this, be patient. The pressure right now is on the pitcher.
Yeah.
He's going to try and make the perfect pitch or miss.
Just missed inside. It's 1-1.
You know, hitters a lot of times in this situation will get yourself out. And with this guy behind the plate tonight and it being, I would say, a hitter's strike zone, you better be patient because you don't expand the zone for that pitcher. Don't help him.
Again, the Reds have the infield in, cut of the grass all the way around with Johnny Damon at third and 1 out. 1-1 pitch to Chisenhall. Inside again, he missed. 2-1. For fans who aren't aware, Jason, you coach high school baseball out in Warren, right? Howland High School?
Yes, I do. Second year head coach out there, and we had 20 wins this year.
Good for you.
Congratulations. Saw J.J. Hoover up warming in the Reds bullpen. Chisenhall having a good night. He's got himself in a good count. An RBI situation. A little over anxious maybe there, 2-2.
And that's back-to-back hitters now, where LeCure is gone behind the count with a breaking ball both times.
Manny Acta looking at the monitor, checking out J.J. Hoover in that Reds bullpen. Now the 2-2. Another curveball, and he got a piece of it to stay alive.
A piece. That a boy. Foul off a tough pitch. Now you go into the protect mode. He throws his get me out breaking ball to Chisenhall right here, and he is lucky to get a piece of it.
That's one of those breaking balls where you see it out of his hand as a fastball, and all of a sudden it just drops off the table at the last second. Good arm speed.
Ball got loose from the Reds' bullpen out in right field, so time called.
Smokes. Who's warming up out there? The wild man of Borneo. Well, does he change his eye level here after throwing? If he's falling off that pitch right before, does he throw the left-hander a high fastball to see if he can get him to chase it?
Well, a lot of times, right on left, you look to try to tie up his hands, and especially lefties love to swing at that fastball up in the zone. And more times than not, they're going to swing and miss at it.
The 2-2. Breaking ball, hit into center field, an RBI hit for Chisenhall. His third RBI of the night. 9-7 Cleveland. He is 3 for 3, and he's a double shy of the cycle.
Well, LeCure came back with the breaking ball, and I bet he wished he threw the fastball there because Chisenhall did a beautiful job of putting this in play. Another breaking ball off the zone. Look at that. I mean, that's a ball. That is a terrific at-bat right there. That goes to show you he was looking for that pitch, and he probably should have thrown the fastball up, but Chisenhall gets a base hit, drives in another run. It makes it a 9-7 ball game.
Once again, pitching coach Brian Price for Cincinnati out. He's paying a visit now to Sam LeCure. Shin-Soo Choo coming up. Choo's already 2 for 3 tonight with a home run and a double.
Well, Rick, that's what you're talking about, too, earlier in that at-bat. Not trying to do too much with it, just staying patient. And even though that was a ball, you know, he slowed everything down. He was able to control his emotions and just be able to put the ball in play.
Especially with the infield in, you know, you don't have to drive it or hit it hard because these guys are doing you a favor. They're banking that you're going to hit the ball right at one of them. Sometimes the softer you hit it, the better you are.
Lonnie Chisenhall starting to heat up. He's hitting 3 straight games now and a 3-hit night this evening. Talking to Tom Wiedenbauer, first base coach, about the situation. You've got 1 out. Shin-Soo Choo will dig in now. Sam LeCure worked a 1-2-3 fifth inning, but he's given up 3 hits to the first 4 batters here in the 6th. And this will be his 30th pitch made since coming into the game.
Well, this is one thing the Indians have done so well this year. They've first game of a series. They've been awfully tough, haven't they? It doesn't matter who you look at.
16-6 in game 1 of a 3-game series.
Yeah, and when you look at it at home, they're 9-3. They've done a really nice job in the first game of the series. Now it's a matter of hopefully that continues here, but finishing off one of the next 2 games after that opener. They did it against Pittsburgh and lost the next 2. Kansas City was here, and they did it too, and one other team. Minnesota.
The 2-0. Called a strike. They do that with the Marlins also?
Yes. Unless, no, I think the Marlins won the first one. I'll let you know in a second.
That first game wasn't as Zambrano?
Oh, you're right.
Yes, it was. They lost that one. They won the second one.
The 2-1 to Choo. Painted the outside corner with that fastball, and it's even up. Chisenhall taking his lead at first, where he's held by Votto. Draws a throw. Indians with 9 runs tonight. Last time they put a 9 spot on the board was June 6th in Detroit. And again, we're still only in the 6th inning. Runner goes down low, throw to second base, and a good one. And a better job of Cozart to grab the short hop and quickly apply the tag.
Not an easy play for an infielder when that ball is a short hop to you, because his glove is coming up. He's got to keep it on the ground to make sure he catches it first and then apply the tag. But he does a nice job. He got it up and put it right back down on Chisenhall's arm. Good play.
You even see Hannigan right there had to scoop the breaking ball. So, I mean, it was a double play right there with scooping and then being able to scoop for Cozart.
Now a 3-2 count for Chu. So far in this game, 16 runs, 22 hits. $11 each. The payoff pitch. Chu with a one-hopper to first. Votto backpedaling. And the flip to end the inning. Indians get 2 to take a 9-7 lead. Jason, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, Matt.
Indians
Thanks, Rick.
pitcher Jason Stanford with us. 9-7 Cleveland.
With us a day early out here at the ballpark on July 3rd. The Indians will be taking on the Angels. After the game, we're going to have one of the best fireworks shows around, set to patriotic music. If you need tickets, you can log on to Indians.com right now. If you're thinking about bringing your family, make sure to check out the KeyBank Grand Slam 4-pack. You can get 4 tickets, food, 4 Indians caps, and parking. If you need to add a few more tickets, you can always do that. Again, it's all online right now at Indians.com.
All right, thanks a lot, Katie. We go to the 7th inning. Tribe with a 9-7 lead. Aaron Cunningham has come on defensively in left field for Johnny Damon. Joe Smith will try to work a second inning of relief. We'll have action in the Indians bullpen. Vinny Pastano will get up and throw. Smith worked a scoreless 6th inning. He walked 1, struck out 1. Joey Votto 2 for 3 tonight. He homered in the 1st. He doubled and scored in the 5th. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Joe Smith delivers down low. Votto leading the National League, 9 different offensive categories. Looks at a ball outside. Pastano just now getting loose, and they tell us Tony Sip is also up somewhere in that Tribe bullpen. Down low. It's ball 4, so he walks the leadoff man, Votto, and it will bring up Brandon Phillips. I'm not so sure that wasn't an intentional walk. Once again, Katie with him here tonight. She's working hard. She caught up with Browns' top pick, Trent Richardson.
Hey, Matt, thanks. I'm hanging out with Trent Richardson here, enjoying the Indians game. Now, I know you just finished up with minicamp. How'd it go?
It went pretty good. It was a lot of fun, getting out there with the team and earning a lot of respect early, and just, letting them know that I am the guy that, that want to, contribute to the team and try to take them to the promised land.
Absolutely. Well, you're here in Cleveland enjoying the Indians game. You're now a Brown. How's that going for you? Are you enjoying it?
Oh, yeah, I'm enjoying it the whole process. Just, being around the fans. It's much like Alabama fans. They really hungry. And tradition around here is always to win. And, they love to run the ball around here. So, they're happy I'm here.
Now, I know you were out with the guys, some of the Indians players before the game today. What were you guys doing, and did you have a good time?
Oh, yeah, we had batting practice out there today. They were surprised I can hit the ball like I did. I told them I could play. They didn't think I can play. I was out there throwing the football a little bit, a couple of the guys, and just out there taking a tour of the place. And Urban Meyer came on the field, and we caught up, for the SEC and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun.
Appreciate the time, Trent. Thanks so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Katie. I'm sure Urban Meyer is glad he won't have to deal with the likes of Trent Richardson.
Oh, boy, you're not kidding. Well, good luck to him, and hopefully he has a good career. They run the football, and he has a lot of success here in Cleveland.
Phillips shows bunts it foul, third base side.
Second time he's done that.
1-2 count now for Joe Smith.
The way he's been hitting, he's doing us a favor.
The other way, Kochman grabs it, tags the bag, double play. Oh, beautifully done by Kochman. Right time, right place.
Yeah.
Phillips hit a bullet. That would have been extra bases, and they'd still be running.
I don't think it gets any better than that, does it? Kochman just kept his ground, knows right what he's going to do with it. The runner can't get back. And a nice double play, just what they were looking for. Maybe not that way, but they were looking for a double play.
Now Jay Bruce, 1 for 2 tonight, a single, a walk. He has scored twice. Big shift on for Bruce. 3 on the right side, Kipnis back on the outfield grass. 1-1 to count. Chisenhall halfway between third and short. When they shift in and Chisenhall has to slide over towards shortstop, that's not foreign turf for him. He was drafted as a shortstop. And a count 2-2. Tried to wrap it around the outside corner. Not tonight.
Well, and you could see where Bruce was going out there. He knew, okay, that's the backdoor slider. Let me get out there. He knew it was going to be close, but it was away.
That is a bomb. Deep right, chew back, and it gone.
Thought he was going to sneak one by him inside.
His 16th home run of the year. And Cincinnati gets a single tally here in the 7th to cut it to 9-8.
Well, he followed that backdoor breaking ball up with a heater in, but he didn't get it in. And you can see that was middle of the plate, and Bruce gets underneath it and gives it a ride. He's got great power. And for the 16th time, he will leave the yard this year. It'll make it a 9-8 ball game.
And with 2 outs in the inning, Manny Acta's going to go to the bullpen. Joe Smith out, Vinny Pistano coming on when we come back. 9-8 Indians on top. Vinny Pistano coming on now for the Indians.
All right, Pistano. Now it's time. So back to a one-run game, and you're in the 7th inning, and you're seeing Pistano in here trying to get this out in this inning, and he'll be back out there for the 8th as well. So Manny Acton knows how important this ball game is. He wants to try and slam it right here.
Ryan Ludwig is 2 for 3, 2 doubles, a ribby, and a run scored.
For the 4th time tonight, the Reds have been able to come back and respond after the Indians score.
Well, the Indians have done some responding of their own tonight, too.
Yeah, but they put some big numbers up there, a couple of 3s and a 2.
Way out in front. Good slider, 1-1. Vinny Pistano on. And if he can throw up a goose egg or 2, then there's a good chance we'll see Chris Perez tonight. And that has been a great combination for the Indians this year.
Well, yeah, the 3 guys that you're looking at tonight, that's been the MO. That's exactly the way Manny Acton would love to script it.
In the last 8 games that both Pistano and Perez have pitched, they've worked a total of 16 innings, and they have not allowed a run with 19 strikeouts. 3-1 count. So that has been their way of slamming the door. Back to the screen, a full count. And Ludwig had the kind of swing that he's saying to himself right now, boy, I had one to hit and I just missed it. Now the payoff pitch. Out of play. Cubs leading the White Sox now 5-1 in the 5th inning at U.S. Cellular Field. Royals playing down in Houston. The Astros lead that game 4-1. They're in the 5th. 3-2. Out of play again.
Birthday wishes go out to Jim Karras of Madison tonight, who is turning 70. Asa Levinson of Dublin, 55. And Deanie Fowler of Cortland is turning 2. Happy birthday to you all.
Again, the payoff pitch. And again, it's fouled out of play. An 8-pitch at bat so far for Ludwig. He wants the slider. Nope. Fastball away.
Santana was looking slider, or thinking slider. Pistano says, no, I'm going with my heater. I'm going to make him beat me with my best pitch away. Here it comes.
You notice in that sequence, too, Santana initially put the fastball down. He shook it off. Then the slider. Then he went fastball in, no. Slider again, no. A lot of times, pitchers have told me in the past, they'll just start shaking off just to keep the hitter guessing, because the hitter's trying to guess along with you. And sometimes if you have the habit of nodding early in the sequence, the pitcher or the hitter will start to figure out what you're throwing. Slider just missed, tried to wrap it around the inside corner. And Pistano walks Ludwig with 2 down. We'll go back to the studios for an in-game update once again with Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt, let's go to Chicago, where the Cubs are taking on the White Sox, and it's been about the long ball for the Cubs tonight. They have 5 runs, all courtesy of homers. Here's the first one, Brian LaHare in the 3rd inning. That's his 13th of the season. It's 5-1 now, bottom of the 5th. 2 aboard and 2 out for the Chicago White Sox. Back to you, Matt.
Well, no surprise there. That ballpark can yield some homers.
Yeah, that kid's having a good year, too, LaHare, first baseman for the Cubbies.
Fastball at the belt, strike 1 to Scott Rowland. And comes right back with a sizzling fastball over the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Ryan Ludwig had a heck of an at-bat to draw the walk. Now Pistano trying to put Rolen away. Just a little bit outside, and they count even 2-2. Got the piece of the fastball. Goes right back off the tip of the glove of Santana.
Well, you'd love to get him here on the 2-2 pitch if possible.
And the slider pops him up. Center field, Michael Brantley. And the inning is over. Reds get a run closer on the homer by Bruce. 9-8 Cleveland as we reach the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic. Join the free walking program Let's Move It Mondays at Progressive Field and Cleveland Metro Park Zoo. Visit letsmoveit.org for more information. Nine-8 Indians lead at bottom of the 7th inning. Get a look in from our Panini's camera. Stop by and get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. Cincinnati goes back to their bullpen for the bottom of the 7th inning. J.J. Hoover coming on for the 16th time this year. Hoover will be facing the 2-3-4 hitters for the Indians. Asdrubal Cabrera, Jason Kipnis, and Jose Lopez. Those three, a combined 0 for 6, make that 0 for 9 tonight.
Well, they'd like to get something going. This is back to a one-run ball game. You know, I was looking back, too, in between innings. The Indians, this is their 22nd game, the last time they've had a one-run game. Got to go back, it was against the Tigers. Their last one-run game on May 24th. And they're 10-2 in one-run ball games.
On the last 4 times that the Reds have played here in Cleveland, they've lost all 4, and 3 of them were one-run losses to the Indians. So that's been a familiar theme in this series here in Cleveland of late. Back to the screen.
And we went back. We talked about this in Cincinnati as well. I think we had to go back to, 97. This is the first time that Cincinnati's been here during the week.
Yeah.
It's usually been a weekend series.
Sure
I mean, we were down in the, down on the river on the weekend.
Ooh, somebody just chucked something from the upper deck, and it landed on the field just to the third base side of the pitcher's mound. I don't know what in the world that was. I thought it was a baseball at first, but now somebody's going to have a short night. I see the police officers already up there looking for the guy. Now that clown's going to be out of here on his ear. 2-1 count. As Dribble works it for a walk. Well, Rick, the Indians have had their leadoff man aboard 4 times prior to this, and all 4 times they've scored.
That's a good sign.
As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Shin-Soo Choo, one of those leadoff guys. He led off with a homer. And then a 2-out, 2-run homer by Lonnie Chisenhall, and a 2-out, 2-run homer by Casey Kochman. Indians have had an extra base hitting party here tonight. I think they've got 8. I might have lost track.
No, they have. They have 8.
8
You're
extra base hits,
right.
a season high. Jason Kipnis 0 for 3. He has struck out, grounded out, flied out. One count. Oh, Jason, one of the few times you see him chase the ball up out of the strike zone, but couldn't help himself, and he's down 1-2.
Well, he's going to step out and have a little clubhouse meeting with himself. Yeah, that ball up out of the strike zone, he knows. Once he started, he's saying, what are you doing? Come on, you know it's out of the strike zone. Refocus, get it down.
J.J. Hoover delivering the 1-2. Missed outside with it. New York Yankees headed to their 10th straight win. They lead Atlanta 6-2 in the ninth.
Yeah, you talk about fire, staying hot.
Two. Close, but just missing, and a full count.
Well, you have to start your runner now. That ball just a tad off the outside corner, and now you figure that Kipnis is going to put it in play, so Cabrera should be off and running. 1-run lead. Get the runner started. Hope he finds a hole, and you can first and third him.
He holds, and Kipnis strikes out. So probably a good decision not to start him. And 1 away here in the 7th. For every home run hit this year by the Indians, Rick and I are donating $5 each, and Great Clips is donating $50 to the Gathering Place. And thanks to the 3 home runs hit tonight, we're up to $3,360. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. Jose Lopez, 0 for 3 tonight. Ripped to first off the glove of Votto. Down into the right field area. Bruce over to scoop it up, and on his way to third goes Cabrera. First and third with one out. And that ball nearly caught by Votto. Would have been a double play to end the inning, much as the one we just saw the Indians turn, but that ball was scorched.
It was scorched, but if it gets over his glove, it's a double, and the Cabrera scores. That would have got to the wall. Votto at least got leather on it to slow it down to where Bruce could come in and hold him to a single.
That's a great point.
You know, Cabrera goes to third base, but you're right, looking at both sides of it. If he catches it, it's a double play. If he doesn't touch it, it's a run scored, and he's on second. Instead, he got leather. It goes as a single. It's first and third. The Indians again with a chance to score.
And now here's Michael Brantley. First time tonight he's batted with somebody on base. He led off the second with a double. He led off the fourth with a double, scored both times. Batted in the fifth with 2 outs and the bases empty. Now, first and third, 1 out, and he's hitting .318 on the year with runners in scoring position. So a chance to drive in a run and do some damage. Up high, ball 1. Reds infield looking for a double play. High fly ball, deep center.
Nice.
Back is Heisey. Plenty deep enough. Cabrera will tag. He'll come home and score. And the Indians now lead it 10-8 as Brantley drives in his 32nd run on the year.
Yeah, and just what you were looking for. Brantley was looking for a ball to elevate that he could hit in the air, keep it off the ground, and a great job of just getting it deep enough, and an easy RBI for Michael, and they add that insurance run on. Now they hit double digits. It's a 10-8 game. Nicely done.
Carlos Santana, a couple of hits tonight. 2 for 3, 2 singles, 2 runs scored. Now moving into the 6th spot on the batting order for the first time this year. Has been a pretty good tonic for Santana's offense of late. He had been 6 for his last 39 coming into tonight, but with Santana batting 6th, the Indians' bottom part of the order has been potent.
9 for 15. How about that? 5 through 9.
Santana 2 hits, Damon a double and a run batted in. Kochman 2-run homer, 3 ribbies on the night. Chisenhall perfect 3 for 3 with a homer, a triple, a single, and 3 runs batted in himself. One-on-one the count for Santana. Logan Ondrusek warming for the Reds. 1-1 to Santana. Just did catch the corner.
Now remember, this was the best bullpen in the National League as far as ERA goes. The Indians have been able to score 3 runs off them to this point.
I don't know about you, but I keep looking up thinking, is it really only the bottom of the 7th? It just it feels like it's the 8th or 9th.
Well,
already.
that's because all the offense. We don't see many games like this with this team. Really, you're going to be up in the double digits.
Santana late swinging, and he strikes out to end the inning. But the Tribe gets a run back, and their lead is 10-8 over Cincinnati as we go to the 8th.
Copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
(10-8) Tribe, 8th inning. Vinny Pistano, who got the last out of the 7th inning, will stay on here to work the 8th. He'll face the 8-hitter, Todd Frazier, and then Ryan Hannigan and Zach Kozar. A wild one tonight here at Progressive Field. Back and forth, offense aplenty. Hits even at 12 apiece. Todd Frazier 0 for 3 to lead it off for Cincinnati. Indians with 10 runs for the first time since April 15th when they scored 13 in Kansas City. Inside, he missed for ball 1. It's one of the first times, though, we've seen a guy really go in off the plate.
Everybody's been very comfortable in the batter's box tonight on both sides.
1-1 to count. Cubs lead the White Sox 6-3. They're in the 6th. Going to the 7th now in Chicago at U.S. Cellular Field. Right back 1-2. Houston leading Kansas City 4-2. Down in Houston, Indians will go to Houston on their next road trip.
Which won't be long, my friend. It's Thursday.
Swung on and missed. Frazier with a little half swing.
I didn't know.
Well, let's put it this way. He went around. I don't know if I'd call it a swing or not.
I'll tell you what. That ball was in the glove, and then let me see. That's embarrassing. He will take some abuse for that swing.
So he's looking slider and just trying to foul it off, or what the heck happened?
I don't know. No, his arm got stuck. He couldn't swing it, locked up on him.
He had a cramp.
Hey, that's just, no, he didn't see it. It was by him, and he tried to make contact, just a little late.
Ryan Hannigan 2 for 3. Couple of singles, a run batted in. And a good pitch, 0-2.
Yeah, Vinny's getting into his rhythm now. He's getting it. He's feeling it, man. Let's go. It's been a while since he's been out there. So that first inning he had a walk, but he came back and got the out. Now he's starting to feel it.
Line drive, right field. Chu coming on, makes a good catch. He got a terrific jump. Good read by Chu, and he came in to make the grab for out number 2.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. That's the key. He got a terrific jump. He got a read. He knew he didn't hit the ball that hard. He was off and running, and makes the catch.
Two down for Zach Cozart, 0 for 3. Threw it by him, and it's 0-2. Castano is feeling it right now. Try to make it a 1-2-3 8th inning. This crowd of just under 20,000 tonight here at Progressive Field making some noise now in the dirt. 19,948 for the series opener. Same two teams tomorrow night. We'll have it for you once again on STO. Josh Tomlin and Mike Leake. Rematch of last week in Cincinnati.
That was the day game.
Yeah.
Getaway day. 12:35 start in Cincinnati. Both guys were hit around pretty good.
Nothing like tonight, though.
Whew. No, that's true.
The 1-2. A little bit up and away. And Cozart has the count back to even at 2-2. Fastball just a little bit high and a full count.
This kid's put up a pretty good at bat to work at full. Pistano looking to get out of this inning, and it'll be his 30th pitch tonight.
And the payoff pitch. Hit to third. Chisenhall sets and fires and got him. Vinny Pistano with a 1-2-3 8th inning. 10-8 Cleveland. 10-8 Indians, bottom of the 8th inning. Logan Ondrusek coming on now for Cincinnati to face the bottom third of the Indians' order. Ondrusek for the 30th time this year. 3 wins, a loss, ERA of 3.28. Aaron Cunningham will lead off. It's his first at bat of the night. Johnny Damon started, went 1 for 3. He doubled, scored, and drove in a run tonight. And the fastball misses up high, ball 1. Now the 2-0. That one took off on him. Oh, called a strike though. Ondrusek goes 6-8.
Well, he's all legs.
Cunningham with a line drive. Base hit into center field. So the bottom third of the Indians' order continues to click here tonight, regardless of who's swinging the bat. Box score tonight brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, who invite you to see the 2012 Sonata. Visit NorthernOhioHyundaiDealers.com today. Chu led off the game with a homer. Brantley's had a couple of doubles, drove in a run with a sac fly. Kochman and Chisenhall each with 2-out, 2-run homers. And Lonnie Chisenhall is a double shy of the cycle. He's on deck as Casey Kochman bats here. Runner goes. Ball hit slowly to second. Phillips will throw out Kochman. 1 down. Our highlight reel brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. Lonnie Chisenhall, first time up, 2-out, 2-run homer. Next time up, down the line into the right field corner for a triple. His last time up, an RBI single on a breaking ball. Great piece of hitting. And now he bats here. First base is open, but the Reds will pitch to him here.
Let's go for a double. Look for the cycle.
And that's in the dirt.
You know, and that's what they probably will do. They're going to
pitch around him.
Well, not pitch around him, but make him hit one of their pitches. You know, they realize it. I don't think they want to walk him. There is one out, but they're going to see if they can get him to swing at their pitch. And if you're Lonnie, you hit it, keep running. Don't stop until you get to second. I don't care if it's in the infield or not.
Right back to the screen. Swing. He did have a good rip. Woo. At a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Right on it. You know, that last time up, he had a beautiful swing at a breaking ball out of the zone. There you go. The cycle's in Cleveland. How about that? Back in 33, 3 days later.
The last one was 1943.
Wow.
Ripped foul. Ooh. 1 and 2. He is not getting cheated.
You know, it's one thing to get a cycle. Not many times do you get opportunities, you know, to get the cycle. So, boy, you certainly hope you do get, you know, have an opportunity. At least get that fourth hit.
Breaking ball hit to right. Bruce on the move will make the catch. Tagging and going to third is Aaron Cunningham. 2 down. And a nice round of applause for Lonnie Chisenhall as he heads to the dugout. What a night.
He tried. Look at that. Those people know it in the dugout. They know that he was getting after it. It's a good at bat. He had some good swings. Look at Kipnis walking up, wanting to go up there. You know they were talking about it. I guarantee it.
Shin-Soo Choo, couple of hits tonight. He has homered and tripled. Doubled, excuse me. Choo almost has 2 homers tonight. His double hit high off the wall in left field. It didn't miss by much getting out of here. Good to see him have a good night at the plate. He was 1 for his last 13 coming in.
Well, it's been a fun game to do. We haven't seen many like this year, you know, when you're looking at as many hits and runs that have been scored.
And back and forth,
back and forth, and I mean the response runs, and they come back, and they're, you know, it's like a heavyweight fight where they just keep slugging it out. Like you said earlier, man, look at it, maybe the last man standing. Both teams have provided good offense tonight. Today was not the night to be a pitcher.
2-1 to count for Choo. Trying to give another insurance run for the Indians here. Oh, what a cut. Right back foul. Well, Chris Perez ready to come on for the night. Those are the 3 that are due up for Cincinnati. The final in New York, Yankees beat the Braves 6-2. They've won 10 in a row. Cubs still leading the White Sox 6-3 in the 7th at U.S. Cellular Field, and Choo with another foul ball back over the screen. Andrusik with a 2-2 to Choo. High fly ball to left. Playable for Ludwig. And the inning is over. We go to the 9th. Chris Perez coming on, trying to save a 10-8 lead for the Indians. 10-8 Indians as we go to the 9th inning. Chris Perez looking for his 22nd save of the year. He'll face Chris Heisey, Joey Votto, and Brandon Phillips. "21 straight saves, second longest single season save streak in Indians history." And Chris Heisey, a little jam job to second. Kipnis throws him out. One pitch, one away in the 9th.
Well, that's what you certainly like to see.
Conrad's Tire Express Total Car Care postgame show comes your way after the ball game here on STO. We'll have the highlights, talk with one of the stars of the game. And we'll also look forward to Game 2 in this 3-game series tomorrow night. Joey Votto has homered, doubled. He's walked. He scored a couple of runs. Votto cuts and misses, and it's 0-2. Just missing.
Wow. Well, it's been like this all night long. Coming inside. Pretty good pitch.
Got him looking. Votto rung up. 2 down in the 9th inning. Might get the benefit of the doubt on the first one, but the second one, if it's close.
That's got plate. I mean, that one might have been a little lower. The other one was high enough. Who knows? He got the strikeout. 2 down.
Brandon Phillips, all that stands between the Indians and a series opening win against Cincinnati. A little bit low, ball 1. Line to third by Chisenhall, and Cincinnati still has life. They'll bring the tying run to the plate as Phillips delivers his 3rd hit of the night.
Well, he challenged him with that fastball. It was a good one, but it was middle of the plate. Phillips made him pay.
Jay Bruce homered his last time up. Will come to the plate. Indians put the shift on, 3 on the right side. And it's low for ball 1. In Chicago, the Cubs have opened up a 12-3 lead over the White Sox. Missed down and in, 2-0. Three balls, no strikes. Ryan Ludwig waiting on deck. Strike over the outside corner, 3-1. They're going to let Phillips take off on this 3-1 pitch as Kochman backs up. Full count. Boy, Phillips was thinking about going to third because Chisnall was over near shortstop.
Well, where's he going? What difference does it make? It's a 2-run game. I mean, he's off and running. Why does he want to round second and act like he's going to third? But I mean, the tying run's at the dish.
And a 3-2 count now. After falling behind 3-0, back-to-back strikes. And the payoff pitch. Dying foul wide of third. Bruce stays alive. The 3-2. Fouled back.
Fouled off a couple of sliders to stay alive.
Well, this will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Remember, he was behind 3-0. Line into left center, a base hit. Phillips going to come around and score and make it a 1-run game. Bruce with his second RBI of the night.
Well, you should have known this game was not going to go down that easy. That's another fastball away, out over the plate. They had to shift down. He almost picked Phillips off. He had to lift that arm out of there. That goes into left center field. It's a 10-9 ball game now. And now the tying run on first base. Outfield very deep. Ludwig with a chance.
The pitch. Caught the corner. That's the first time in their last 9 games that both Pistano and Perez have pitched together, that the opposition has scored a run. Tying run at first. Ludwig, a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Everybody up on their feet now. And the 0-2 pitch. Did he go? No, says Darryl Cousins. He held up, and it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Well, Jim Wolf, he checked right away. He didn't hesitate. He didn't see it.
That was close.
Look at him. He's checking right away. First thing he wants to do, he wants help with that. But Darryl Cousins said, no way.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Got him looking. Chris Perez with his 22nd save of the year. Best in the majors. And the Indians take the opener by a final score of 10-9. A hard-fought victory for the Indians here tonight.
He went right there with the heater. He got him. There you go. 22 saves. Good win for the Indians.
They go to 34-32 on the year, and if the Cubs hang on to win in Chicago, they'll be just a half game back of the White Sox in the AL Central Division. Reds' win streak is over at 6. They fall to 38-28 now on the year. Winning pitcher is Joe Smith. And he is now 5-1 on the year coming out of that Indians bullpen. And the loser is Sam LeCure, who drops to 2-2 for Cincinnati. Time now for our play of the game. It's brought to you by KeyBank.
Well, let's go to the 6th inning with Chisenhall at the plate. He had a man on third base, and that's just a beautiful job of hitting. Went and got a breaking ball out off the plate, down out of the strike zone, looking for it, able to send Damon home. And had a good afternoon. 5 through 9 did a great job for the Indians tonight. That was just a big hit. One of many in tonight's ball game.
Play of the game brought to you by KeyBank, the home of relationship rewards. Earn reward points redeemed for gifts. Down to the field, here's Katie Witham with Lonnie Chisenhall.
Well, Lonnie, this was an exciting game, an absolute slugfest out there. 19 runs, 27 hits between the two clubs. Offensively, though, what was working for the Tribe?
You know, we had a few important home runs. Koch got a ball out of the ballpark. I hit one early. It was just nice for the bottom of the lineup, you know, to get a little kickstart there. So.
Absolutely. That's actually one of the things that Manny Acta has said lately. He needs to see more production out of the bottom of the lineup. You guys did that today. It seemed like you fed off of one another.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you got guys on base, you got the pitcher in the stretch, and he's working. So, you know, we got good pitches to hit, and, you know, we took advantage of them.
You went 3 for 4 tonight, 1 double shy of the cycle. Obviously, you were locked in out there. What was clicking for you?
You know, I don't know. I felt like I was taking good swings. It was just one of those days. I was hoping to get that double, but, you know, Bruce made a good read on the ball, and I was hoping he'd let it drop or something. But, you know, that's the way it goes.
After the series in Cincinnati, what does it mean for you guys to come out here and get this first game the way you did today?
Oh, yeah, especially the way we did. You know, D-Lo went out there and he worked. They got some good hits off of him, got him out of there early. But, you know, we kept fighting, and, you know, that's what happens.
All right, Lonnie, appreciate the time. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks, Katie. The Indians now 17-6 in the opener of a 3-game series this year, 10-9 the final. Back with a final word from Progressive Field right after this.